Namaste, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be across the planet, around the world. My name is Gregg Prescott from In5D.com, and you're tuned into another Spirit Chat. So I'm trying to put a link into the chat room here, and I'm not seeing an opportunity for me to do so. So I'm going to refresh the page and try that again. So if you guys want to join us, I'm surprised you guys found us. Chances are you subscribed or found us via Twitter. You didn't find us on Facebook, that's for sure. I got banned again today. I posted an article by Terry Wade, and I shared it to my fan page. I shared it to the In5D page, and I shared it to one of my other pages, Zentasia. And after I shared it to Zentasia, I got banned. So I'm just getting really, really tired of them doing that to me. It's the same crap over and over and over again that Facebook is doing, and it's getting old. So, you know, here's to Facebook. Put it out there. And I say that with love. So I'm grateful though that you guys found us. People that subscribe to the In5D YouTube channel, you'll get notified, hopefully, as long as you hit that bell notification. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe so you won't miss out on events like this, like when I get banned, and it happens often on Facebook. Gosh, this is probably maybe the 4th or 5th time I've been banned this year, in the last couple months. It's crazy. So yeah, screw them. But yeah, make sure you subscribe to either YouTube or Patreon or Twitter. So that would be on Twitter at Gregg, Gregg, Prescott, Prescott, #1. You'll find the alerts on Twitter as well. So yeah, crazy what they're doing. Oh, okay. Now I can post the link into the chat room. Cosmic Wisdom saying, I get notifications via Patreon. Sweet. Yeah, everyone on Patreon will get notified. You'll be the first ones to get notified. And just quick shout out to everyone that's joining us on YouTube: Cosmic Wisdom, Plastic Alley Cat, Nicole, Odyssey, Jessica, Andrea, Susan, Samantha, Poetically Mistaken, Scotty, Skylar, and Hanane, Janae, Lizzie, everyone else that's joining us. Thank you so much for being here and finding us here without really much heads up on Facebook. Cheers to Facebook. So this is like one of the new patterns I'm doing on In5D quantum tie-dye. And it looks so friggin' cool. I really, really dig this pattern. Somebody said it kind of looks like the Schumann resonance, and it would if I just used like these colors with the green and then mirrored these colors on this side, which I might do. Maybe I'll make a Schumann resonance shirt. That would be pretty cool. So yeah, I'm thinking about doing that. So yeah, that'll be another style that'll be coming up, but I'll be doing the 7 chakra plus the Schumann resonance. So that'll be fun. What else? Oh yeah. So a few videos ago, I mentioned that sometimes it gets a little chaotic in here. And when that happens, I will simply just mute the whole room. Don't take it personally. Don't cry. Don't pass go. Don't collect $200. But occasionally that's what happens. You know, it just gets a little chaotic, and I'll just mute everybody and we'll regather our thoughts into one direction. And don't take it personally. Okay. If that happens, and so and you just happen to be one of the people that are speaking amongst all the other people and it's getting chaotic, don't take it personally. I love you all. I'm not scolding you. You didn't do anything wrong. We're just getting the group back together. Also, if you're eating or if you have to cough, please mute yourself. Most of you people do it anyway, and it's appreciated. Also, when you're talking, when somebody else is talking, try to nod your head instead of going, uh-huh, because it'll bounce the camera or at least the view back and forth on YouTube, and it makes it a little bit more difficult to follow. So I drew some cards for us, and let's do this one first. You guys know I use this often. It's the Spirit Messages Daily Guidance Oracle Deck by John Holland. And what I do is I ask for, while I'm shuffling, I ask for the card that is in the greatest and highest good for our group. And here it is. Forgiveness. Ah. That's one of the things that Dolores Cannon talks about. She said that's the quickest way that you can overcome karma is through forgiveness. So let's see what John Holland has to say about it. Holding on to resentment and anger is preventing or even suffocating your spiritual growth. Resentment is one of the strongest and most damaging of human emotions. The act of forgiveness in its own right is equally incredibly powerful, and it has the capacity to heal and transform. You received this card now because your past needs to be healed. The spirit world is trying to assist you in stepping out of that stagnant energy wrapped around old wounds so that those hidden spiritual and life experiences can emerge. Once those past hurts are dispelled, you'll feel reawakened, energized, happier, and more connected. Forgiveness is about choice. It's not just about absolving someone of their past actions. It's a matter of releasing the anguish and torment your soul is having to cope with. Forgiveness requires compassion, insight, kindness, and wisdom. Each time you forgive, it will enable you to release positive energy toward healthier and more productive endeavors. Every time you forgive, you break the cycle of pain. Forgiveness enables you to be less affected by constrained by suffering. So you empower yourself to stop feeling like the victim. As those feelings of resentment and hurt melt away, your capacity to love, to trust, and to believe all rise to the surface so you can get back to loving yourself and vibrating at a higher level. Forgiving someone is not a sign of weakness. In fact, it's a sign of pure spiritual strength. So forgive. Got to mention also, for those who are subscribers on Patreon for 1111 or more, the mid-month energy report will be out tonight. It's right now downloading to my PC, my laptop. It's about 84% right now. And once it's downloaded there, I'll upload it to Patreon after this spirit chat. So it'll be out tonight. Look forward to it. Okay, so I have another card that I drew, and this one, and if you guys watching, especially here in the Zoom chat room, have oracle cards and would like to do some card readings, feel free. The more the merrier. So grab your cards, and when I get done here, jump on and give us a reading. So this one is coming from the Goddess Guidance Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue, before she went crazy. And the card I drew for the group is Kali, as in Kali Yuga, endings and beginnings. Very appropriate. The old must be released so that the new can enter. And that reminds me of what we're going to be talking about here in a second. I'm just going to write that down as a note. The message from Callie. I sing praises to those whose hearts accept the universal order, which only appears to be chaotic and ever-changing. Boy, doesn't that sound like what's going on right now? Chaotic, chaos with this coronavirus, right? In actuality, everything is designed down to the smallest detail to be in perfect operation. The dance of the universe is a happy one, with energy swirling and twirling in a never-ending celebration of life itself. Join this dance, dear one, and enjoy the remarkable journey of the weavings of your story of life. Do not fear what appears to be a change or loss. It is only the transitioning orbit of energy interplaying with you and your loved ones. Embrace it as evidence that you're alive. Embrace your deepest emotions as a signal of your true human essence. So yeah, endings and beginnings. So yeah, that reminds me of what's going on with this coronavirus. You know, you guys, I mentioned this on the mid-month energy report. You guys remember back at the end of the year on New Year's Eve, I made that prediction that 1 year from then, by the end of the year, this planet will be unrecognizable from what we knew it as. It's already becoming that right now. But it's going to be in a good way. And I've said this time and time again for years. You guys have heard me say this. We'll probably have to take a step backwards before we take a quantum leap forward. This is what's happening right now. The dark has to be shown. It all has to come out. And that's what's happening with this coronavirus. You can't see it on my Facebook page, but one of the last posts I had on there was of Bill Gates attending this, the United Nations, and they did a simulation of the coronavirus back in October of 2019, this past October. What happens 2 months later? How many times have we seen this as false flags? How many of these people that are allegedly dying are actors? You got to question everything. I don't know, but I'm just putting it out there. And you know, the panic shopping has finally hit here in Sarasota. So unfortunately, you know, that part is, you know, people got to deal with that. But honestly, I think within a month, the shelves are going to be loaded with water and sanitizer and toilet paper. So if you have a month's supply, you're good. You'll be okay. The last thing I want to do is I drew a card and it's actually judgment reversed. So this talks about malicious gossip that's going on. Somebody's gossiping about someone else. False accusations, failure to learn from the past. You know, so basically you don't want to jump to conclusions when you see this card. When this card comes up, you don't want to jump to any conclusions. And, you know, if anyone's talking crap about us, we've been around here. In5D has been around since 2009. Our record is impeccable. So, you know, what happens, just forgive. That would be a nice thing to do. Just that card that we had earlier, the forgiveness card, endings and beginnings. You know, if there's a new beginning that happens, so be it after the forgiveness. You know, so we just move on. The cream rises to the top. Just continue to be you. And, you know, whatever anyone else says won't matter because the cream always rises to the top. So after saying that, I'm going to open up the room. You're all unmuted. And somebody's got tunes. You have to mute. I'm hearing an echo. Oh, that's Renee. Okay. Boy, someone's echoing badly.
Hello?
Someone might have their on.
Someone's got YouTube on right now, and it's creating a horrible echo. And I'm trying to figure out. I think it's Janae. No? Not Janae. Let's see what. Oh, it was Helga. Helga, you were the one that had, the echo was coming from you. You must have YouTube on as well as Zoom. Okay. So you got to shut off YouTube because YouTube is in the past. We're like 15 seconds in the future. So as long as YouTube's off, we won't have the echo. So I'm going to unmute everyone again. I think we're good. We're good. Oh no, we're not. No, Helga, you're still you're still echoing. So anyway, everyone else, you're unmuted if you want to jump in. Hey, Skylar, I see Skylar's back again.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm good. Had my time by the water.
Yeah, I was going to ask, how was that? How was your grounding?
It was cold, but I needed to get down there and just ground. Energy is so crazy. So yeah, it was good.
It looked warm from the picture you sent.
No, I had my hood on. I'll send you another one. I'm going to probably post it as I got down there. Yeah, I had to put my hood on. The wind was like crazy, but it was really beautiful because the water was like, kind of like the wind was blowing towards me. And I felt like I just needed to just let it all all the energy roll off me that I was feeling. So
good.
Nice release.
Yeah, it's pretty chaotic out there right now.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know people are just, losing it. And that's where I think that card for forgiveness comes in, just to, number one, try to stay as grounded as we can while we're here. And number two, forgive those who are just losing it. And it's happening. It's real.
They've lost it.
What's that?
They've already lost it.
You've lost it?
So other people.
Oh, yeah. So hi, Janae. You're hiding. There you are.
I'm trying to get it. Oh, I don't know. I don't wear makeup anymore.
That's okay. We're not judging. There you go.
Okay, yeah, I don't either.
Great. This is your first time on, isn't it?
Yeah.
Awesome. Yay. Congratulations. What led to your awakening?
YouTube.
What specifically?
I've been watching for quite a while.
So what happened when you awokened? What happened when you finally awokened? What led to that?
I just decided to join Zoom.
What led to your awakening though? Something happened years ago, I'm sure.
I have multiple sclerosis. I was diagnosed 23 years ago. And now I've got secondary progressive.
Okay.
And I'm in it at like a nursing home facility right now, and it's just crazy. And I'm gonna be discharged this week, thank goodness.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm so glad. I'm like, okay, it's time for me to go home. My kids need me.
Yeah. So it's pretty chaotic at the nursing home.
Yeah, especially with that coronavirus stuff.
Yeah.
I'm fed up with that. Nobody can come in or out. But I'll be getting out. So it's all good.
Yeah. Apparently they closed all the schools here in Florida. I know they closed them all in New York for 2 weeks.
Yeah, Idaho's been closed. They closed today. Yeah.
Man, I wish I was in school.
Yeah, no.
I didn't get that lucky.
I wish I could work. I know.
Right.
They're out of school more than we were in school
Right.
anymore.
Yeah.
Kids are.
If I knew then what I know now, I probably would have homeschooled my daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about my youngest who's 13, start to
Mhm.
homeschool him.
Yeah.
Because he still has, his opportunities
Hmm.
in life. So
Well,
I think
well, thank you
I'm
for
going
joining
that way.
in and getting your voice heard here and showing your face and having the courage to do so.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't care.
That's awesome.
I don't care what anybody thinks about me. I know who I am. That's all that matters, right?
That's all that matters. Stand in the vibration of your own truth, love, and light.
Yep. And I do.
That's all you need to do. Everyone's
I know I'm a
beautiful.
good. They are. You got to see through the soul, be able to
Mhm.
see and feel.
Exactly. Everyone's beautiful and perfect exactly the way they are.
Yep. Don't try changing yourself.
Yeah. So thanks again.
No problem. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciated it, Greg.
So we are, let's see, who do we have here? Is that Roxanne? Hi, Roxanne.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. I watched your Insomnia the other day, so I thought I'd tune in and say hello. Actually, I found you something that you posted on Facebook in one of the groups. So I said, I followed it to Facebook and followed it to YouTube and subscribed, and I listened to that. Oh, what do you call it? The Insomnia one? So,
Yeah.
and then I just tuned in. I'm insatiable about humanity. So
Awesome.
you know.
Awesome. Well, you saw Helga on the Insomnia one. Helga was on
Yeah.
that one. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
because I got a different group of people coming on at 4:00 in the morning.
Yeah, you
So
you were couldn't sleeping people. Yeah, that was a good one.
where are you, Roxanne?
I'm in San Antonio, Texas.
Okay. So you had insomnia that night?
No, I didn't. I didn't watch it live. I watched
Oh,
it a little bit after live. I get up usually around 6. It was
okay.
that thing when I was little. If I couldn't get up and watch cartoons in the morning, or I couldn't get. We're the same age, I think. I couldn't get
Okay.
up and if I didn't know what was going on during the day, like 9 or 10 o'clock, when like my brother got up, I was like, oh man, I've lost the day.
Burning daylight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, New Braunfels, how are you? There's a guy from New Braunfels, Texas, and I'm in here in San Antonio. That's just up the road a spell.
Awesome.
So yeah, I thought I'd join in and
Yeah.
listen to the discussions, perspectives on humanity and stuff. Yeah.
So
And the game.
what led to your awakening?
Well, a whole bunch of things. I'll give a little brief story. Let's say 2010, I became Roxanne. I left the Roy world to discover what was inside that thing that you don't quite fit. Anyways, there's a big backstory to that, but it was pretty much that. I came out here to Vegas after I left. I came out here to San Antonio after I lost my job in Vegas because when I transitioned. Eventually, I was let go from the car business. I was there for years. And then my parents said, come out and live with us. There's government jobs, blah, 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 this, that, and the other. So I came out and lived with them for a spell. And when I was down at the VA, because I spent 5 years in the military, there's a program and someone suggested for relaxation meditation. So I said, where do I find a meditation group? And they go, Meetup. And I was like, what's Meetup? And I found Meetup. And then I typed in meditation and this clicked on the first one, and they were having a meditation the next night. And I went down there, and this was like an awake group, this is like great guided meditation. And then they start talking about you create your own universe. And they were talking about Ramtha and Bashar and Jay-Z Knight and channeling and Daryl Anka and Esther Hicks and Edgar Casey and all these things. And I was like, what the hell are you talking about? So I started hanging out with them over the summer, and I started, reading. I started devouring books and And then I started channeling, and I've been channeling for 5 years. Yeah, that's me, Odyssey of Ascension.
So, okay.
No, I'm sorry, 7 years.
So who do you channel?
Me, little parts of me, little Osifius, Sylvester, Chuck, Kiona, Nakuru, Akina, Gongalina, Terapat, Teramac from Terapian. Just whoever comes in the moment, you know.
Okay,
A
so
lot of wisdom, a lot of ideas there for humanity. And of course, it's for me, so I can see my own perspective of myself. And of course, at the same time, you offer to the collective, and the collective picks up and takes what they want and goes from there. Yeah.
do you get any messages, like prophetic messages of the future for humanity?
Not so much in the future of what it is, because I think, each world is an individual singularity attracting its own creative worth, not in regards to the hopes of emotions or the effort of emotion, rather than the well-being of existence. Isness in and of itself attracts, and then I think the world moves as a collective through each individual light holder, and then one Earth goes this way, that's kind of a bigger Earth, and maybe a Earth goes this way. So I think the enlightenment, or as you said, which was perfect, you got to see the shit before we can move. So I don't consider this a bad time at all. I considered it absolutely an enlightening time of change. Of course, you can look at it emotionally. You can look at it as cause effect. You can look at it through a 3D lens, a 4D lens, a 5D lens. You can label the crap out of it and then have a good old time. But the fact of the matter is, you're going to right back, end up in the now as yourself, existing, never can be extinguished, to experience your own evolution. So if you start looking at it subjectively instead of externally and cause and effect, then maybe you can see it in a different light, and then you can see the change that's happening. And people are like, oh, okay, this. And I was like, wow, look how many more people can work at home now. Maybe that frees up more time for homeschooling because they don't have to go into work. And maybe the idea of a perspective of panic starts to change within the collective, because we're seeing how we are to each other through polarity. And I think this is a massive, uh, I don't want to label it like a massive shift of purpose, because if we label something the purpose, then we're going to confine it to the purpose of our own belief system that manages that purpose, and then you kind of get thwarted. So I think you can go beyond that and just look at it as a flow, as change, and the enlightening occurs. So I think it's fantastic. I really do. I think it's a good time for us to be alive now. So it wasn't the channelers don't call upon the future so much on what it is and what it is. It's more in the idea of, Sylvester's one of my main guys. Osifius is one of my main guys. And, I channeled parts of other great speakers over the time. And it's for my work, we all have our own tact. If you're a sailor, you understand tact, the direction, your own pull. And I think my pull is perspective, self perspective, to see how your reality is created through the perspective that you see yourself. And maybe one of those belief systems that gives you an emotional status instead of motion status, maybe you can look at that as something to transcend and transfigure yourself through allowance. And yeah, of course, work is good too, healing and as you say, forgiveness and these tools of humanity to go beyond that, to realize unconditional is the presence of now, and conditioning is the experience that we gave ourselves. And the byproduct of this experience is to ascend a species, which is fantastic. So
Do you see humanity awakening
oh,
exponentially?
oh, sure.
Yeah.
But I don't think everybody's going to awaken. I don't think everyone goes with I put some creed into a specific channeler, Daryl Anka and Bashar, because the quality of the vibration, not the words, the way it resonates within me. Uh, he said the idea of the 3D Earth and the 4D Earth starting to split, and we're talking density, not dimension. So let's keep it within one frequency range. Third density, fourth density, or fourth dimension, fifth dimension, or your choice. So to move into that world of self-realization, I think not everyone will go with us. Maybe, I don't know, for shits and giggles, 4 billion instead of 8 billion, you know, because not everyone needs to go. Why? Because they don't need to wake up. Why? Because they're gods. No one loses their godship. You don't fall from grace when you're a creator and you're original. You just push an experience into a co-created human psyche and you give yourself a perspective of separation to remember your beauty. So if the ones that can't wake up or won't wake up or get to the end of the edge and see, wow, holy shit, maybe I don't want to wake up. Maybe I'm okay living this comfortable life of emotions and polarity. Well, you know, if that's their Linus blanket, let them have it. And when they die, what do? They go home. Everybody goes home. No one dies. Everyone just transfigures. So, you know, the ones that don't come along, it's okay. The ones that do come along, that's okay. Because we're all going to find some kind of attraction in the moment that unifies us. And I think unification of the self leads to the understanding of diversity of humanity. And of course, returning to the diversity of the all, because without the all, I have no change. And for God's sakes, why would I ever want to be the same? So I think it's a good thing that change is upon us. Scary, but the ones that come and the ones that don't come, 4D and 3D, the chasm gets wider. Maybe we forget about some people that we knew one time, or maybe they forget about us, or they have a memory of what happened to us or something of that nature to make their world fit in the perfection of the moment to continue that life. So that's why I don't mind who comes and who doesn't come. You know, I think everyone will find that within themselves,
Some
but they
people
have
want
forever to do it.
yeah, exactly. Some people want to stay in 3D. They want to come
Yeah.
back and do 3D over again.
I mean, for God's sake,
There's another,
you think
you know,
they,
in 26,000 years from now, there will be that opportunity, and they can do a
sure,
lot of experimenting and have fun. And there's a
right.
lot of great things about this third dimensional.
I mean, where else do we get to suffer at this extreme? Wherever
You don't, you
we
really
get to
don't.
hope and then be crushed and then be successful and then cry and then smell puppy dog breath. My God, what a great place we're at.
According to Dolores Cannon, she said that the ETs told her that one of the things that they love the most, several of the things, number one, they like watching sports because of the gamut of
Yeah.
emotions that we
Oh
go
yeah, the
through.
emotions in sports, exactly.
Yeah.
And they don't
The
have
highs
that
and lows.
range.
Not everybody does that. We take that for
Not to the
granted.
quality of separation. I don't think so.
The other thing is they like watching movies because they like to see how we can be one person today, but act and portray somebody else
Yes.
as well.
To express something not us.
Yeah.
And we do that as images. We do that as, oh, I got to go to work. I have to be the work mask, or I got to go with my boyfriend and I have to be the boyfriend. And I have to act in a certain mannerisms to continue my outside acceptance or I'm worthless. And I have to maintain that idea. And I think that's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And the ones that wake up to that, then they journey in a whole new perspective. So, yeah. And so it's good stuff what we do.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you for jumping in and joining in on the chat and for the first time.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, it was
All right.
first time, and I appreciate what you do. I looked at your background and what you've done, and you're a big shining light. And I love your T-shirts.
Thanks, I appreciate
And
that.
I was looking at.
This is the latest, man. This looks freaking.
Yeah, I know. Is that the one that you made the other day with the ink and stuff? Yeah.
Just made this one. I'm gonna start making it mass produced though, and
yeah.
Like I said, I think I might do the Schumann resonance where it's like this color.
Yeah.
On both sides.
On both sides.
In the middle.
Yeah.
Oh, that would look really hot.
I think that'd be fabulous.
Definitely. So, looking forward to that. So,
well, anyway. Rock and roll. I'm still here. I'm going to go heat up some
all right.
dinner for Tommy, but I'll be here.
Enjoy. All right.
Thank you.
Hey, Phil, what's happening? Uh-oh, you're muted. There you are. There you are.
Sorry.
That's all good.
Yeah, no, I'm just I'm doing some alchemical stuff here, man. I
really
mixing some resin with some silver nickel, and it's going to be a layer in my new pyramids that I'm making.
Orgone?
Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, I don't know what. Yeah, I don't know. It's I hope it's silver enough. But
That would
yeah,
be a good. No, it'd be a great idea if somebody could do it. Would be edible orgone pyramids. There's got to be some way of making that, edible, so you could eat the energy.
well, the only problem with that, Greg, is the formula, as I understand it, is alternating metal and organic material.
I mean, there's iron.
You know, this powder is pretty fine. You know, I probably could work it into a baking mixture, but I'm not sure how safe it would be.
There's iron supplements, right? Right?
Well, no, I could use iron. Well, yeah, I don't know about that iron stuff because I don't know that that's powdered. This is powdered.
I saw on YouTube one time they took some like children's cereal, they put it in a plastic baggie, and then they hit it with a hammer and mushed it down until it was all powder. Then they took a magnet to it, and you could see all the metal flakes that were drawn from it. They moved it to an area that there was no powdered. Yeah, and you could actually see the metal.
That's bad.
Yeah.
Well, you think about it, because how do we handle our grain now? We used to do it with stone, right? We grind it with stone.
Right.
Now we grind it with metal blades. So yeah, they break. I can see that actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just had never thought about it before.
Yeah.
But I wanted to kind of tap into what Roxanne is just saying.
Okay.
Because man, I really feel that we're in 4D. We're, at least I am. I mean, right on the edge of 5D if I'm not there sometimes. Because the channel, I've channeled the Syrian Light Brigade so far and the goddess Isis. And they just, I never had it that easy where it would work like that.
What do you mean?
Where I could connect to them and, hang out with them and have them answer questions and stuff.
So it's not like you had to get into a deep meditative state. They're instantly right there.
Well, like with ISIS, no, I'm not going to say that. It took about 6 minutes of chanting a power word. And actually, I was in a pretty deep meditative state the day I did the Syrian Light Brigade too. So yeah, no, I'm not going to say I can do it without meditation. No.
Okay, let me ask you.
I have to be in that alpha state.
Yes.
If not, almost theta.
For me, it's
Or
alpha state.
gamma.
Yeah, I can channel in the alpha state. It's pretty easy for me. When you channel, though, let me ask you the same question I asked Roxanne. Do you get any messages about what we might expect in the near future?
Well, ISIS kind of addressed this, but more in the sense of what you needed to do to make the cut. And that you need to call, if you need to, you can call on their help, because we're kind of like a parachute on them. We're holding them back because they're karmically entangled with us.
So what did ISIS say that we need to do?
Well, she's going within. I mean, basically is what she told. As I had to actually go back and watch the damn thing again afterwards. And that one, I was, I just felt the love, man. A whole lot of love from her, really. Though, and I kind of pre-set it up that it would be the simple truths. So she didn't speak to a whole lot of other things, but she did. I think in that we got a little bit on the event.
Okay, tell us.
That's the part I can't remember, man. What's the video? Gosh.
And that's
things.
I had
I'll have the record there.
My sister came down for the weekend and she left yesterday. So that's why I haven't did any spirit chats. I haven't watched any videos. I'm so far behind, but I had to catch up with family, so that was
well,
important.
hey.
Yeah.
Yeah, family, right. No, my
Mhm.
brother comes over. I'm not making a video.
Yeah, exactly. My sister lives like 2.5, 3 hours away, and we don't get to spend much time with each other anymore. She's
Yeah, I
married.
know. And that's weird, isn't it? Because
Yeah.
he's living closer to me now than we've lived since we were, at home together.
Uh-huh.
He's only up there in uh, above Everett, so that's only about that 2 hours.
So is he awakened? Can you talk to him about stuff that we're talking about here?
I talk to people about this stuff all the time, Greg. I
Good.
don't give a shit whether they're awake.
Good. Good. Stand
Oh,
at that.
yeah, no, he knows about me, and he still loves me. That's all that's important.
Yeah. My parents
No,
are.
I did get him to accept the pyramid, so he's got an in. And he works for the hospital, so he's got a service job, so he's golden. I mean, not everybody has to be aware of this to make it.
True.
I'm gonna say that, though. It's gonna be rough for them, and we're seeing that right now because they can be pulled off of their center by the spear so easily, especially if you're watching the mainstream press, reading that, or watching the TV, and even some of these videos out here that I've been watching. We need to calm the hell down, get centered, love ourselves, love all others. I don't know about the social distancing and all that, but no, probably shouldn't hugging and kissing. Probably isn't on the agenda right now. At least until the weather gets warmer.
Try and stop me.
I know. I was on the bus a couple of days ago, and I was talking to somebody. It just felt like I had to offer my hand to him. Exchange names and introduce myself. We were getting into a conversation, right? So I'm old school like that, and I love giving hugs and getting, because you get one when you give one. But I mean, whatever. There's other ways. I mean, just like I saw a video on. Oh, darn! I should be doing here. Anyway, yeah, I saw a video and of the Italians, and they have these balconies, right? So they're all out on their balconies singing, even though they can't be. They're quarantined and supposed to stay away from each other. They're singing and dancing and having a good time, enjoying their quarantine. That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
That's the thing we need to do. To keep singing and dancing and having a good time, and wash your hands. Don't cough on people, and don't let other people cough on you. It's pretty simple. We need to be more respectful of people's personal space, eh? Simple as that.
Somebody recognized me at the beach, and they shook my hand earlier today, and I shook back. I'm not afraid. I don't care. I'm not afraid of this stuff. I'm not seeing people coughing. There's nobody I personally know that has the coronavirus. Right.
You're not gonna, because you live in a warm, sunny state, and it doesn't can't exist in that kind of an atmosphere. So you're lucky, guys.
Yeah, but they can still bring it down. This is heavy. It's heavy in tourists and transient people. People are constantly coming and going.
No, I agree, man. It could get there. It's just that it's not going to spread as easily.
Right.
That's what I want to say. It's not going to spread as easily. Pardon? I'm going to shut this off. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that was. What's going on, Des? Desiree? Can you hear us? Are you in a trance? Oh, there you
Sorry,
are.
yeah, I was trying to find Roxanne on Facebook, so I had a lot of her stuff on there. So,
Okay.
I received my copper pyramid today from my
Yeah.
friend, and it's a 4-foot pyramid, and it's beautiful. I put my organ on
wow.
each 4 corners.
That's awesome.
So, I got it for a good price, and hold on, let me switch her around so you guys can see her. Dang it. Come on, phone technology. Oh, I know, it's so funny, isn't it? All right, so here's the energy. If anybody needs, just close your eyes and just breathe her in. Energy comes from Gaia, and it comes from the Master Great Pyramid herself. So, yeah, I got her for a good price, and he said that it was time to go in. So, he's a really good friend of mine. He's actually leaving the U.S., and this is a good way to keep in touch, because when you create pyramids like this, and they're keyed to any type of pyramid in the world or galaxy, the energy is involved within each line. So it's pretty cool, and then you get to connect even more like that. So
Just another way of lighting up the grid. Yeah.
Exactly, and
Yeah.
that where I changed my name or my place of where I lived on Facebook, because I don't want to live in Pekin, Illinois, or Peoria, Illinois, or whatever. So I changed it to Pyramid, Illinois, and he's like, "You can't live in Pyramid, Illinois, without a pyramid." So
Now you do.
thank you, Phil. I received it.
Awesome.
I tried it today, and just to let you know, I went shopping today, and I had a lot of anger for some reason, and I just was soaking in everybody's anger or like issues and fear. And then I went to my friend's house, picked up the pyramid, came home, and in 30 minutes did a couple drops, put them on my arms to feel more comfortable, because I was going to attack. And I just laid here, and it all went away, all this energy. And so I think we all, and I even tried doing a live Facebook, but I was too angry to do a Facebook thing, because all the food is gone where I'm at, and I'm like, I don't understand it. I'm so confused. So, like Phil said, like every single being keeps giving every one of us, Chandler's messages. Is time to go inside your own being, and time to protect your own self, and time to start finding out, what you need to heal and what's triggering you. Because, well, I don't have to go in trances or any type of energies like that. They just come to me. And, I have to ground, especially really hard, but I have had prophetic dreams. I've seen my friend die, and nobody believed me. And he was 50 years old. 2 weeks later, he found out he had stage 4 kidney cancer. I kept telling everybody, "Oh, he's gonna die. He's gonna die." And there's something gonna happen. He's gonna die. Nobody believed me. 6 months later, he died from kidney cancer. So, and I saw it right in front of me, and I was like, I wish people would just listen. But everybody's different. Everybody has their own way of seeing things. And we're all given different types of messages for a reason. So might not be the end of the world kind of messages, but it just might be a message for you yourself to find out what you need to heal. So that's my take.
I think a lot of people are afraid to go within. Maybe they're afraid of what they might find, or they might question their own discernment when they go within. Is that really me, or is that what I think should be me? In either case, it's still them. And then they end up asking other people, what do you think? When they already had the answer to begin with. I was talking to a friend yesterday who's a psychologist, and we found, because I also was a child and family therapist, we found that many times the person that you're giving therapy to already knew the answer. It's just like the spiritual genre, when we go within, we've had the answers. We already knew the answers, you know, but a lot of people just seem to be afraid to go within. Don't know why.
And I think that's the issue right now that we're having, you know, with everything going on right now. There's a lot of fear based, and a lot of people are becoming ungrounded, and they have this fear of becoming nomadic again, you know, and, you know, becoming like a caveman. So, you know, and then that's where a lot of the fear is coming on. But for me personally, I like being a caveman. I like not washing my hair for weeks on end, but you know.
Yeah. Well,
but,
you know,
it comes from the heart space of not knowing who you truly are and what you're actually capable of in life. And, you know, I went to the store today and there was no food. Everything. Okay. So basically anything that was actually, turn it down, please. I'm on the phone. Everything that I had seen that was gone was anything starchy, potatoes, anything that was quick and easy. People took. It was nothing healthy. All the organic food was still there.
Yep.
Even the Beyond Burgers were still there, and I love them. They're so good. But you know, it's starting to come to, you know, this realization. The people who are actually in fear are the ones that actually don't understand that it's just a frequency.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's kind of sad, but at the same time, it's kind of waking us all up to this possibility of, wow, this is amazing. Like Roxanne said, this is amazing that's happening, because look at Earth now. Look at the Earth. Mother Gaia is able to heal a little bit better now for these next couple weeks, because there's nobody's going to be driving that much. There's no planes that much. There's, you know, there's just a lot of healing for her. And this quiet time is just so amazing. So like Phil said, the Assyrians keep saying it's time to go within, and it's time for you to listen. What's your body telling you need to do? Detox your throat chakra and your heart. It's time to stop allowing anything that doesn't you know, need to be allowed, and it's time for you to stand your ground, and time for you to go within.
You know, there's a at the 33rd level of Freemasonry, there's a motto called Ordo ab Chaos, which means order out of chaos. And that's exactly what's happening right now. We're seeing the chaos, and the order is about to come. And it may not be exactly, there are actually benevolent divisions of Freemasonry. Not all of them are, you know, out to kill us all. But there will be order out of chaos in the end. And just like the New World Order, that could be something that could be amazing if it were for the right reasons. If we all got on board, for example, what if we all learned the same language? You know, I don't care if it's Polish, Russian, clicking. You know, if we all just learn the same language, I don't care. All learn the same language so we can communicate with one another. You know, English would probably be the most logical, but you know, a step in the right direction. That would be, in my opinion, part of a new world order. But you could have something like that in humanity's best interest. But the problem is it's been tainted so badly by that phrase. God, when you hear that phrase, it's like you shudder, because you know it's all about eugenics. If it were not about eugenics and it was about humanity's best interests, you know, we could get rid of all politicians and just have councils of elders for every country who you can vote in and vote out every week if you wanted to. As long as they're working in humanity's best interest, they have a job. I would volunteer for that job. You know, so that's the kind of new world order I would love to see, but just maybe rename it, label it something else, where we're all working together. We can all communicate with one another, and man, the world could change instantaneously overnight.
But the thing is, if I think it's really hard for everybody to go through this huge awakening of so much too, because there's so much coming out, and that's why everybody's getting so sick, because nobody's allowing that to process and no one's allowing that to, everybody's so shocked and scared for everything. They're not really going in depth. They're going in a fear-based mode. So if you actually think about it, we're actually on the wrecked timeline that we're supposed to be on. And yeah, we all wish that we could heal faster and da da da. But when you actually think about it, the timeline is specifically incredible right now, especially with everything that's unleashing. So if everything unleashed at one time and everything just kind of exploded, what would we do? We would be it'd be World War III, just in one day. So I think at this time, it's just taking one step at a time until we actually get to that new world change. And we're finally, I think we're all working on it together. It's just taking us all a little bit of time because there's a lot of people out there still not awakened, but they are going to after here soon.
The dark has to be exposed,
Exactly.
and the light, we're all holding these candles and it's getting brighter and brighter every day, and that example of the people in Italy singing outside, despite this pandemic, they're making the best of everything and they're laughing and singing, and we're overcoming all this stuff. We're going to come out on top. And like I said in that prediction, by the end of the year, this world's going to be unrecognizable from what we knew a year ago in a better way. But we still have to uncover this crap before we can push forward and see these sealed indictments become unsealed, see patents be released that were previously hidden from us. It's going to be exciting to watch all this stuff happen, step by step, inch by inch. It's going to happen by the end of the year. It's already amazing, all the changes that we've seen so far, and we're still here.
Well, if nobody has seen in your own town what it looks like with grocery stores looking what they look like, you can always go on my Facebook. It's on the World for to See. I put it on World for to See the videos that I took from the grocery store, and so you guys can see how many people, all these people that don't understand, but so you can see, Greg, for yourself what Illinois looks like, for
No, I can't. I'm banned on Facebook.
Oh crap. Well, okay, we have 93 cases here in Illinois, and they're shutting everything down for 2 weeks in Illinois. Well, Peoria and Pekin area, everything. There's no going in a store for 2 weeks.
All the schools are closed here.
And so I'm like, what am I going to do to feed my kid? Well, I guess I'll grow a garden.
I love that idea of growing a garden. Can you actually do that, Desi, at your place?
Probably,
Hey, spring's around the corner, right? So
it's here, man. And everybody's saying, my stepdad, he's like, oh, I'm coughing, I'm sneezing, I got, my nose is running. And I'm like, spring's here. Look at your tulips are blooming. Look, your flowers. Why is everybody in such chaos? Look at the squirrels are laughing, the birds are singing, the trees are budding, and the flowers are blooming. Everybody should be happy. Come on.
What's the temperature where you are?
I think lower than 40 degrees.
I don't know what is that in Celsius?
I have no idea.
Greg, do you know?
I'm pretty not really smart with numbers, so unless it's numerology.
I don't know. I just know the warmer numbers. I don't know the colder numbers.
Somewhere around 10.
Okay.
Okay.
Maybe.
That's like sweater weather. I could deal with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like sweater weather.
No.
Oh, Roxanne, I wanted to say I love your background. It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the name of your business?
It's Odyssey of Ascension. It's a YouTube channel.
Cool. I'm gonna check that out.
I got like 500 videos, so enjoy. Nice. It's all free. Greg, on that perspective of why people don't go inside, to the dark side. Well, if you really think about it, I mean, how long have we been reinforced polarity? And to find the capability of polarity within you probably scares people. And then they understand what they're capable of in their own mind, and they are taught to avoid that or run away from it or extinguish it or work it out or I think that if a perspective of light can be offered that allows each person to understand creation itself that is unconditional, then understanding murder and rape and the atrocities of humanity's capability is creation knowing itself, as well as the absolute unification of a society coming together when there's a natural disaster and you know, tsunamis or earthquakes, or you know, how we can unify and then have that polarized scale, and then find that within themselves to understand it's a portion of creation that is allowable to the collective to know themselves and each individual master that's on this planet to go through that. You know, as far as, you know, when I talk about that, people are afraid, well, yeah, but then I might do that because for some reason, what you put out is what you get back all of a sudden. If someone's attracted in your reality and they're an asshole, you're thinking, why am I attracting an asshole? I must be an asshole. No, that's assignment of polarity. What it is, you have a chance to see something about yourself that's possibility in the reflection of reality, but it's not assigned to you. It's your interpretation. I mean, that's what we own, right? Just our truth, right? So I think when people start to understand investigation within, to see the parts of creation that are allowed, they won't have to become the thrust of that and actually experience them being a victim of murder or the capability to murder or rape or thieve or anything that from mediocrity down to the bad side. But to allow themselves, that's a possibility of creation through a scope of beyond polarity that doesn't justify emotions. You know, when I know something has done something of a nature of atrocity, sometimes I have a high rage about those persons and their actions against another human. And I don't like that. I don't. But I'm not going to get mad at it in the regards. I'm not going to protest against it. I'm going to allow creation to discover itself. Because if I put any kind of thwart on it, that's my thwarting in my created universe, and I have no command over another. Sure, you can throw people in jail, you can punish them, you can do all that, but all they're doing is experiencing themselves. Isn't that right? I mean, really, no one's suffering. They're experiencing suffering. No one's happy. They're experiencing happy. What we are is truly beyond emotion, or the transcendence of motion, to always know ourselves as ever expanding. So I think if you allow people to see creation is, instead of is this or is that in permanency, then they can see a different light about their own world that they've attracted to them to understand their own evolution. So maybe, you know, if we offer that to the collective, there can be some internal work, not without purpose, which I know really sucks because we have that longing for belonging, don't we? We want to know a purpose. We want to be accepted. For God's sakes, my parents never accepted me. And all I wanted to do was please them and make them. But see, that was our relationship. One child succeeds, the other child fails. And that's the way they understood their universe. That's what they needed in order for their own worth to exist. They needed outside drug deals. You know, the validation of this person acting this way, which will fulfill their need, their longing, because no one was taught to love themselves as is. But I think if they go inside and see what they're capable of, and that insight is a capability of understanding what's the potential of creation knowing itself, then it maybe has a different light that can be shed. And as enlighteners, we don't shine lights, do we? I mean, we're not preachers, are we? We're not trying to get people to see our way because those are preachers. I think what we are is enlighteners. So if we offer a perspective and then people understand their perspective through their own evolution and own self, then they have the chance to understand themselves through their own divinity, which can never be lost. So I think that might offer some light on why people are afraid to go inside. I've been there. It's a scary fucking place, but I love it.
I think it's also,
you know, go ahead.
I think it's also important to be the observer too. You know, for example,
the observer of the self. Oh yeah.
Yeah. For example, you know, when there's child abuse, that's like something that will get to anyone. But when you look at it from perhaps the observer's perspective, what if the child being abused was the abuser in a previous life, and this is karma being played out, and you're just watching this from behind?
But there, how about this? How about there's no reason for it? It's just creation in and of itself discovering. But then you free up that mind from causality. And causality is not wrong. It's a perspective. Remember, there's only one permanency in creation, the laws. Existence, maybe what you put out is what you get back. Everything is here and now, the all are one, one are all, and change. But I don't think polarity exists. I don't think karma exists unless you validate that within your world, because it's your right. It's your right to understand these things. And when we got to this planet, newsflash, we didn't know anything. The only thing we knew were moms, dads, cultures, covetings. And we took those as badges of honor, as an image to portray, to find a personality and protect that personality until life happens. Anyways, it looks like Lord Gary wants to talk.
Well, yeah, Gary, I did see the question in there. I just never had the opportunity.
Am I live? I'm sorry. I'm trying.
You're live, darling. Rock and roll.
Thank you. All I want to say is this:
Yeah.
It was a great thought from PCG Terry on the YouTube channel, because we're all having a real. I don't want to dominate this Zoom anymore. I just wanted to mention this, that from another person. Think about it. What if the event maybe is going to be happening in the very near future? Because what's happening now on the planet, basically everybody now on the planet is safe at home. We're not driving our cars at 60 miles an hour on the interstate. We're not flying at 40,000 feet in an airplane. We're not skydiving. We're not going out and having a party and then all of a sudden, wham. So what if is something to think about. What if maybe, if the time is ripe and the tipping point has been reached and we're now safe at home, because Source is going to make sure that as many of us as possible get through this with as little, befuddlement as possible. I think that's a valid idea, and I'm just kind of excited about it, and I wanted to share it with everyone. So now I'm going to shut up, and I want to listen to what you beautiful souls have to say. I love you all. Namaste.
So Terry's asking, do you think we are all safely at home now so the event can happen? What do you guys think?
I'm going to weigh in here because I did the numbers on today and they come to 5. What is 5? 5 is change. So, but change is always happening, at least in my world. I assume it's in everybody's world. But as to the event, as I understand it now, what's happening is it's going to be coming in waves. I thought we could, this is the reason I do the human resonance on my channel, is like it'll give us a clue here. But like today, it's at 11. 11 is a master number, though. Okay, it's the 1 doubled. It's the beginning. It's the So we're in the time of change, or I've heard them put a biblical term on it, and I don't like it, so I don't remember it. And I'll bow the stage to Roxanne or Gregg.
Well, we're going to take a quick peek at the Schumann. And this is what we're looking at right now. We did have a little blast here earlier. It looks like, let's go to a larger view of this.
Right, Greg, but they've shut it off right there at 11 is what's happened.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
that's what I saw today too. And on the site that I was on, it said the number was 11. But, I was looking at that stuff and I was thinking, really, 11? Is that all? But, it didn't have the amplitude. And what they're measuring when they say power of 11 or power of 12 or 42 is it's the combination of the amplitude and the frequency.
Okay. It looks like we peaked at 31 for the amplitude. And that was a while ago. That was, quite a while ago. There was something interesting, and I mentioned this on the mid-month energy report for our Patreon users of 1111 or higher. On Suspicious Observers channel, he was talking about the galactic superwave. There's this pulse that's coming through from Sagittarius A, the center of the Milky Way galaxy. There's this pulse, and they determined that it's becoming stronger and more powerful, and it's increasing its pulse. So, you know, what's happening is, you know, when that energy goes through the sun, it's like alchemy. You're combining two different ingredients together. What's going to come out the other side? Will that be transformative? Just something to think about.
Well, that's the hope, right? That's the hope, is that it's transformative instead of annihilating.
Yeah. Either way we win. It's okay.
Proxima Centauri just went through what he calls a mini nova, or a big CME. So we're likely to get that out of this cosmic wave that he's talking about coming from Sagittarius A. So yeah, this could be a bad day on Earth, and we really will need to stay positive and help each other out, because no electronics, they'll be toast.
Just don't make us fire energies mad. Kidding. I'm kidding.
No, it's the transformation by fire this time.
I thought it was the ether, the fifth element.
Okay, ether, then it's plasma.
Yeah, that would make sense.
So that's the next state of matter, I believe, is plasma.
Yeah, because we've already gone through the first four. The fifth one is ether or aether. Ether. It could be either one.
Right. That which Einstein disavowed, and because they didn't have good enough instruments to measure it on when they tested for it, and I guess they retested it recently with better equipment, and they actually did discover that there is such a thing as the ether. So just for those that think are scientific minded out there, there's a fact for you.
Okay. I'm looking forward to that. It makes you wonder about like the ethereal realms, right? And
right.
Ether.
Right. Well, and this ties into Rupert Sheldrake's what he calls the morphogenic field, what Jung calls the collective unconscious. So I kind of feel like this is kind of where all of that resides, that collective unconscious of the whole universe. If you look at, there's been on Suspicious Observers, they've done some, I think it was radar or something like that, where they actually saw tendrils going between the galaxies. It looks like a bloody brain all lit up.
Wow.
Really. We are within the mind of God, quite literally. All about the energy, folks. Frequency, vibration, and consciousness.
Well, they say that when you look at a map of the universe, it looks like the human brain with the neurons connecting.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen those pictures. It really does.
Well, I lost the chat on my other computer. So.
Oops. Howdy, co-creators.
Hi, Bo.
Hey.
How are you?
I am pretty good, yeah.
Good.
It looks like you are too. I would like to share something with numbers. For Desiree, she was making this Hara bead necklace, right? So I looked up some significance of the 108. You see here, there's a picture that from the moon itself is actually here made as a baseball, and the baseball is made with 108 stitches.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, from the moon to the earth, there's 108 moons. The moon, the earth has 108 chakras. And the distance from the earth to the sun is 108 suns. Wow. And the sun's diameter is 108 earths. Oh, that's amazing, huh? So it's very magnificent, significant number. Here we see, oh, come on. Oh. The Metatron cube also has something to do with this 108 number. We have 108 sacred places in the body which identifies intersections of matter and consciousness. Amazing. So here we have, it is also said that we have 108 feelings, where 36 are related to the past, 36 are related to the present, and 36 are related to the future. I was going to look it up, like what kind of feelings, but it's a big task, yeah? And then, of course, we have in astrology, we have 12 houses and 9 planets, which equals 108. So here, last we have, I want to show you, I'm pretty amazed about this consciousness meter scale. You see here where, what kind of level of frequency we are in. And I can tell you, it's said that when we have cancer and all kinds of those illnesses, we are down to like 75 and 50. And notice 50 is apathy. I find that pretty scary because we have we are empathic people, right? So it goes very much into apathy that we tend to feel others' energies too much, right? And you have to get above pride and courage to even get to neutrality.
That's what I advocate, going straight to love.
That was, yeah, well, even higher than love is joy, right?
Yeah.
So I would say have joy. That's even better.
Okay, I'll trump you with bliss.
Oh yeah, that's 700 plus, man. Oh yeah, and well, I guess I'm not the only one that goes back and listen to recordings here on Gregg's impressive. Oh, stop share. Can I stop share? Am I sharing? No.
Up top there, yeah.
Okay. Gregg's impressive room we have here.
You know, what was really cool about that picture too, you know, I'm sure a lot of you guys also noticed the same thing I noticed. I just took a quick screenshot of it. Bear with me. But everything on that, whoops. Look at the numerology, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 3, 6, 9. So you got the 6 and the 3, the 9 right there. Everything, 4 plus 3 plus 2 is 9. 9's everywhere, completion. It's all completion. Where we are. That's why we're all here, right?
And I have to say something about Phil, because every single time when he's doing his vlogs on YouTube, normally the numbers come out to 9.
What's your life path, Phil?
6.
Upside down 9. Okay, it's a Tesla number.
That's balance.
But I was born in a 9 year, so there you go. 1953 adds up to 9.
Mark is taking us through a trip through hell. Apparently, there's snow on the ground. That's hell for me. I can't take that cold weather. I can't take that cold weather. No. No, it's okay, Mark. Leave it on. It's all good.
Well, and what I was getting to about listening back to the recordings, right, was that when I play guitar, it was on the recording, it was like hacking, not complete. I would like to know if it was like on live too.
I don't know.
You don't recall?
No, I don't actually go back and listen very often to the ones that I've already done. I don't listen to any of my videos.
When
I record them, yeah, and that's it for the most part.
I got a new number down. Like the day after we were on here last, I was on here. I got a new number. If you want to try and listen again.
Sure.
Okay. Just a little roundabout.
Okay, what do you call that?
I have no name for it yet. Or
apparently, it's called Just a Little Roundabout.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do that.
All right.
That was it for me.
That's great. That's great that you're creating your own music, and it's creation. It's awesome.
Yeah, well, the funny thing is that I would not even call it creation, because it's just something that comes in, you know. Suddenly it's there. It's just I have tried to like make or create, as you say, some kind of music, you know, where I deliberately choose some accords and try to put it together, but it never works. And suddenly, boom, there's a number. It's funny. I love it.
You.
Hi, Mary.
That's the way most songwriters do it.
Sorry.
What's going on in Mary's world?
Oh, I want to tell you, I had the most amazing experience on Saturday. I was driving my car, going to the store, and I didn't need toilet paper, but I was going to the store, and an eagle came out of my left, swooped down, went right across the hood of my SUV, literally across. I couldn't have been no more than 3 feet away from that eagle, and then went over and landed somewhere in the field. It's probably gone after dinner. But I was just like astounded. I have never seen an eagle, and it was probably, I've never seen an eagle that close, is what I meant to say. Probably about a 5-foot wingspan. And it was pretty obviously still a juvenile because its head was just half white, so like a bald eagle. From what I understand, they don't get that completely white head until they're about 5 years old. So I took that as a really, really positive sign. I don't know what, but it was just I was like amazed. And I'm actually was amazed that I didn't hit him because I was, going down the road and it was that close. So that was my exciting weekend.
See, something like
Amazing.
that, when an animal or a bird comes into your life, the first thing I do like that is look up
Right.
the spiritual meaning of what that means. Did you do that?
I did. I did. On
What
your
did you
site,
get out of it?
on In5D,
All right.
let's see if I can. The American Indians or Native Americans see the eagle as a sacred messenger that carries prayers to the Creator and returns with gifts and visions. Well, I get a lot of visions. Actually, I have one I want to ask about, actually. We use eagle's feathers to connect to this majestic and powerful spirit guide, as we know the eagle feather holds cleansing and healing powers. And the eagle is seen by many cultures as a symbol of courage, vision, strength, and endurance. And it goes on and on and on. But yeah, I just thought that was very positive and just like something totally out of the realm of anything I'd ever experienced. I've had.
Well, Mary, when did you see the eagle? What day did you see it? Saturday?
This past Saturday.
I saw an eagle on Saturday too. It flew over my car.
Same thing.
I was having a panic attack, and while I was driving, and I'm like, oh my god, and all of a sudden I see two of them, but one separated and one went over my, like it was a full grown, but it went over my car. And I looked up the meaning on Pinterest, and it said to go within. So, yeah.
Nice. And we were talking about that earlier today too, going within. Yeah.
Right. But on Saturday also, how unusual is that? I mean, both times gone across our car. I mean, I could have put my hand out and touched it if the windshield wasn't there. It was great.
I sent your t-shirts out on Saturday too, Saturday morning.
Yes.
So you'll be getting them shortly.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Mary, definitely, I would say going within, because the eagle brings a message to you.
Right.
Yeah.
And healing and.
Well, that too. Yeah.
Yeah, strength and endurance, and it was very positive for me and for what I foresee as my immediate future, at least. But I had a question. I get visions like not all the time, but I get them sometimes. And generally in those when you first wake up in the morning, I'm awake, but my mind is in the right wave at the right wavelength. And I was given a trident. Does anybody know what that means?
Trident would be Neptune or Pluto. Normally,
right, it would be Neptune.
And it would be
Poseidon as well.
Poseidon, yeah. Neptune or Poseidon, yeah.
And Poseidon, Neptune would be telling you to get in touch with your emotions.
Water, yeah.
What emotions?
Well,
yeah.
I assume you have some.
Yes, of course I do.
I have them.
I'm
a man.
Yes. Yeah, I do.
What?
Yeah.
Gary, you had your hand up.
Well, I just want to maybe share something with y'all, but actually I don't, it's something that I have done. And I mean, I did the other night, I sang in front of you guys. It's the first time I actually sang in front of people in forever, but I've always been like a musician, and I'm not a trained musician. I don't read notes or anything like that, but I'm able to sit down and play things and make music come out of them. Anyway, I was really moved by our friend sharing his little roundo he played with his guitar strumming. I thought that was pretty cool. I do actually produce stuff, and I'm just wondering, I got a song that I wrote really about my late brother, but it's also, I realize now, also about me and the way I used to live my life, where everything was full speed ahead, you know, not pay attention to what's going on. And it's called Crash and Burn, and it's almost 6 minutes long. So, I mean, if y'all want to wait until the end of this, and anybody who wants to hang around and listen, I'll be glad to wait until then. Because I mean, it's kind of a downer because my brother unfortunately died all alone by himself on Christmas Eve morning. So kind of spoiled Christmas for me for the rest of my life. But, you know, now, not so. I don't think so. Now I think I'll be able to handle it because he's fine. I talk to him all the time. I just didn't realize it. I dream about him all the time. So anyway, I'll now be quiet and just let you guys let me know what you think, okay?
Well, yeah, all I can say to that is we don't really die. We just go on. We go on doing different, we transform. It's an alchemical process. And actually, this gets back to this. I want to stress this right now while I'm thinking about it, because this going within and facing your shadow, the reason you want to face your shadow is that's the way you make the philosopher's stone, by healing and loving and forgiving all that shadow within you. And when you love yourself, it's really hard not to love everybody else. At least in my case it was. Maybe it'll be different with you. But yeah, you should be in love, or you should do your shadow work, go within, because of that reason, so that you can be your own alchemist and you can transform, transmute anything, absolutely anything.
I agree with you totally 100%, Phil. I just wanted to tell you that thank you, because that's actually what I have been doing publicly in front of you guys for like the last 2 months. Is I've been getting a lot of shadow work done, and the self-love is finally here. And that's why I act like a complete fool sometimes now, because I have been following my bliss now for like a week, and it just keeps getting better. And synchronicities are happening, and Creator and I, we're just co-creating things, and it's actually happening. And it can happen. And I just wanted to back out. I just was really happy because, that's the way I've always been able. I haven't really been able to always talk to people, because for me, I am an emotional person. I feel emotions more than I feel words, And music for me, it touches my soul. It touches my emotions. And for me, that's the way I kind of communicate my feelings. And I've written a lot of songs now, but now I realize I got to go back and kind of redo the lyrics, because now that I love myself, I realize why they weren't quite right to go and be made public. They weren't quite ready to go out and into the world. But now, you guys have trained me and actually encouraged me and helped me to speak my truth. And I'm going to be speaking it. And, I don't want to dominate anything. I just love being here among all this positive energy. So right now, Phil, I just want to thank you, brother. You have opened my eyes to a lot of things. Everybody in this group has opened my eyes to a lot of things. And I just want to, share the love now that I feel for everything and everybody. So, thank you and namaste. And please let me not dominate. I'll just let the next person talk. Y'all talk amongst yourself. I love listening.
We love you, Gary.
All right, Gary. And that wasn't directed just at you. I mean, this was something that's been preying on my mind, and it needed to come out. And thanks for letting me do that.
You might want to consider, Gary, uploading the video to your YouTube channel and sharing it on various social network formats as well.
Well,
making
actually,
it into a video.
I let it go when I first did it. It's up on what is it, SoundCloud, something like that, where you can post songs and people can comment on them.
Oh,
and
cool.
I got some good comments on some of the songs, but one of them, boy, people were like ripping my heart out, and it's like, no, I wasn't trying to do that at all. I wasn't emulating anybody. So, it's kind of scary sometimes to, because frankly, man, when you write a song and you let it go, you're opening up your heart to everybody in the world, and they get to, critique it for you. But now I don't care. I don't want to write, depressing stuff. I just want to write love and light and you know, everybody love each other. I mean, I want to redo all the love songs from the Summer of Love, you know, like, come on, people now, smile on your brother. I mean, that's what we got to do. They had it right. We just weren't listening, you know. Now's the time for that music to come back and take us up to the next level. Anyway, that's what I think.
So I see Jody joined us again. Hi, Jody.
Well,
Gotta unmute myself. Hi.
Jody and her cat
Jody.
joined us.
Like ass of my cat.
Hello, ass of your cat.
This is Betsy with a J.
So what's happening?
Not much. I love your shirt.
Yes, the new style. I'm going to start
Is it
making.
one of the chakra ones?
Yeah, it's the 7 chakras. It's got 14 different crystals that have the energy in it. So
Oh, I love it.
yeah, it's really cool. I'm going to start making these. And somebody came up with a good idea because they said it kind of looks like a Schumann, Schumann resonance. So I was thinking, take the colors here, keep the green in the middle, and then put these colors on the other side as well. Just make it like a Schumann resonance shirt. That would be really cool.
I love it.
Yeah. So yeah, but yeah, this got the 14 chakras and just a different pattern. I think it looks really cool. It's almost like a tiger pattern.
I do too. I love it a lot.
Yeah. It's
Do
cool.
you think you could go back, Greg, and do the Schumann resonance to the time that you were awakened and wear it?
That's a good question. I don't know if they were doing it back then though.
Or at least a certain point of your life where you feel like it was an extremely, good point in your life. Kind
Yeah.
of like when they do star charts for like children that were born now. Kind of cool, or
Like,
certain,
yeah.
aspects in your life.
That'd be
Sorry,
really
I didn't
cool.
mean to
No,
interrupt. It just came out of my mind. I don't want to lose it.
it'd be hard to do. It'd be hard to emulate that Schumann resonance exactly, or even close with tie-dye. But man, how cool would that be to have that on as a shirt somehow? I guess you could actually do it as if you could just get a picture of it and have the picture on your shirt as a shirt. It'd have to be probably sideways, going up and down like that. There's probably a way of doing it. But yeah, if I had to choose a day, it would be the day my daughter was conceived. It changed my life. So that would be my day.
Okay, I would like to say thanks to Gary, because after he sang his last song, The Angel, I woke up with that song on my mind 4 days in a row.
You rock, Brother Bo. I love you, man.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. You too.
So what are you creating, Jody? You're a creator. You've been creating something.
I have. Well, the last things I did, I made these little driftwood pendants. Did you see those?
No.
Oh, let me go grab a few. I'll show you.
In the meanwhile, Phil will entertain us with some bowls.
Okay, I can do that. Oops.
Okay, she's back.
So,
Thanks, Phil. Our TV timeout. That's
Glad to
great.
be of service.
I live on the
That was
Oregon
perfect.
coast, so I'm always like collecting driftwood and stuff. And so I've just made these driftwood pieces, and I set gemstones and shells, and like this whole side, those are all agates that me and my husband collected, and shells and sea glass. And then I just put a crystal in the top. So you can just wear them like a pendant. With all the chakra, I put on this one, I put the chakra stones all the way down it. And then there's stones on the other side, so that when you're wearing it, no matter what, you can pick which stones are touching your body.
What a great idea. Why aren't you wearing one?
I I just love this pendant. My husband got it for me. It's the flower of life, and so I usually wear this one.
Okay. That's awesome. What a great idea.
Yeah, and I love that almost all of it's found items.
So what did you do? You just happened to find some driftwood and thought somehow that idea came to you, right?
Well, I'll show you the big ones that I make. They're right here. It won't take that long. But...
Okay, we're not going to have Phil. Come on, I see him reaching. Yes.
I make really big ones. And so it was just natural that I'm like, oh, what if I made just a little one? Then I could wear it, or somebody could wear it. And so you could have like a little wand that you wear that you're walking around and can get the chakras out of.
Yay.
Hey, Jody, I just noticed we have the same last name. Where are you from?
You know, my husband's from Oregon. He was born in California, so it's my married name.
Oh, okay.
The last time she was on, I asked her about that.
Did
because
you?
of you. Yeah.
No wonder you know how to pronounce it, Greg, because nobody knows how to pronounce it correctly, and you did the first time.
Do you get Maynard a lot?
Yeah.
Same here.
Yep.
That's funny. It's funny, actually. A lot of people think I'm from California. I'm in Toronto, Canada, and I've never been, but people tell me I have Cali vibes, so I don't know.
Oh, yeah, me and my husband were both born in Cali.
Okay. Very cool.
And now we're both in Oregon.
I heard Oregon's a super powerful spot. I'd love to visit there. One of the higher.
You have no idea.
Yeah.
I'm from Arizona, and it's just incredibly different than Arizona.
So you probably appreciate the change of seasons.
I do. I love it. I love it. It was snowing the other day, and you know what? You do get snow in Arizona. Half my family lives in the mountains there, but boy, you don't have the change of the leaves or anything, and so I've really loved that.
I think the change of seasons are overrated.
I bet you do. In Florida.
Yeah. Give me the beach and sunshine, and I'm a happy camper.
Yeah, you can't go swimming in the beaches here.
No, you couldn't in California either.
You absolutely can.
That's right. You're up there, right?
With a wetsuit.
You can. You'll freeze your ass off.
When I came here from Wyoming, I used to jump in the bay all the time in the summer.
Yeah, in the summer.
The caveats in the summer, yes.
Well, I've been in Puget Sound in a wetsuit in the winter, and yeah, that's really cold.
My husband's been crazy enough. He crabs and he'll go in without a wetsuit sometimes, and I just can't do it.
No. No way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know whether I would go crabbing. I mean, I assume he's diving down and catching him, right?
Yeah, I have Arizona blood. I don't know how long it's going to take me to get used to Oregon.
Well, yeah, I've been here for 30 years, so that might have something to do with it.
Where are you at?
Up by just outside of the town of Shelton, so on the peninsula in Washington.
Okay. Haven't been to Washington yet.
Right, I'm just off the end of Oakland Bay.
So the water temperature here, ocean water temperature was 72 today, 22 Celsius. So it's getting there. It's almost doable, but it's still too cold. It's still...
Oh, I'd be in that water. I'd be in that.
There's a lot of people in there that are probably from up north that were in, but I went in to pee, but I made my contribution of warming the water up a little.
Oh, that was a visual I didn't need. Oh.
No one needed that, but yeah, I'm doing my part on warming the water up for everyone.
Adding to the salinity.
Yes.
Actually, that is a problem. did you know
No.
that there's a lot of fresh water coming up out of
Mississippi.
Alaska and Greenland, and the salinity of the water is dropping.
Interesting.
And so, yeah, it is, because this is predictive. Is once that happens, that'll stop the Gulf Stream from going up there,
Mm-hmm.
and it'll start getting colder, and we'll get another ice age.
Ah. Well, I know that the Gulf of Mexico is less saline than the Atlantic because of the Mississippi pouring the fresh water into the Gulf of Mexico.
Right.
But
this
I didn't.
this is specifically cold fresh water, which sinks, and then that keeps the it stops it's a salinity siphon that brings it back around, circulates it around, so that it keeps bringing warm water back up to to England and Iceland, and otherwise Iceland would be an iceberg too.
Did you ever see that expanding Earth theory?
Yeah, I have.
It's really fascinating.
It is kind of, and you could kind of see it because in the Pacific, the seafloor is expanding, though it may be tucking under in the Marianas Trench. And I think there's the same thing on the Atlantic. So where is all that going to?
So exactly, what if, as these glaciers melt, and predominantly the planet is water, what if that's part of the expanding Earth? What if our Earth keeps expanding to the point of where, okay, so we have 360 days instead of 365. It's perfectly matched up with the 1 year would be 360 days. We would lose time off the calendar somehow. They'd have to readjust the calendar, but it would be perfect. Not only the days of the year would be 360, but it would match the circumference, 360 degrees. It'd be pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And, with the nines there as well, 3, 6, 9. Yeah.
Well, I'm partial to any time we can come up with a 9.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I'm not sure that increasing the diameter necessarily is going to increase the speed that it.
That's true.
That it spins, or how fast it goes around. It might have a difference in how long it takes us to orbit the sun.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be our year, right?
Right.
But for days, I don't know whether the hours of the day are going to change.
It would take a long time for that to happen, just to affect 1/2 a day.
Yeah, it'd have to get pretty big, I would think.
Yeah. But I think I have something on In5D about the expanding Earth theory. It's really quite fascinating. Along with Pangea, how all the continents link up with each other. It was one massive continent.
Right. Yeah.
To start with.
That's been pretty accepted in geology.
Yeah, continental drift and subduction and all that stuff. Just spread them apart. Different, indigenous animals that were only found here on one coast and then found on the other coast. In fossils and stuff like that. It's really fascinating. I love it.
Right, and I think there's some of the animals on Madagascar used to be connected to what they think is a continent between India and Africa, I believe, and it's because the only other place you see those animals is on the Indian subcontinent, I think.
My mother told me a story that her cousin that was in I think it was the Spanish Army, jumped ship in Madagascar. This is, back in the early 1900s. Jumped ship in Madagascar and worked as worked his way in the village. He eventually met the princess, and they had a thing between each other, and they ended up getting married. My mother was trying to get the DNA, try to figure out how you can prove that through the DNA and everything. And she couldn't get that far on it, but that's the story that my mom told. Whether that's true or not, that's what she told me. And heck, I might be royalty of Madagascar. So it's interesting you brought that up. I don't know. Just a funny little story.
Well, there's a good chance, Greg, that you were in one of your incarnations either a king or a war chief. Well, maybe not you, a war chief. I was, but I mean, I think we take on different roles as we come back.
Yeah, we've been the best of the best and the worst of the worst. Everyone that's watching.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Everyone. Yeah. We've all had some hideous lives.
That's why it's so important that we grasp forgiveness, because even if you haven't done anything this life, you for sure have done it other lives. And so if we can just hold on to forgiveness, that will be the cure to this world.
Right. Well, forgiveness or drop judgment, one of the two.
Well, it's the same thing, really. Unconditional love, forgiveness, non-judgment.
It's a little bit different. Judgment, dropping the judgment and forgiveness. You can drop the judgment and still not forgive, though, right?
Really? Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But generally, it's a process, I guess. I think the hardest people that we don't forgive is ourselves.
Yep.
Right. No, yeah. No, I mean, this is another reason why we need to go within, is to love and forgive ourselves, heal ourselves. That Ho'oponopono, that is perfect for that. That is, I have to thank the Hawaiians for sharing that with us. Yeah. They really did us a service by doing that.
I use it every time I go on a walk of gratitude. Every time.
I use it a lot, and I refer to it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't think you can really do. It makes the shadow work so much easier when you have a tool like that. So much easier. It's nothing to fear. You can if you go from that mindset of the love and compassion for yourself. Yeah, you can get through it's whatever it is, just do that for it, and it'll move you a long ways.
Has anybody read a card yet today?
Yeah, I read a few of them. I had Kelly, Ends and Beginnings, on the Goddess Guidance cards, and then of course what were we just talking about? Forgiveness on the Spirit Messages from John Holland. So yeah. Do you have cards you would like to read?
I do. It's from I have a bunch of cards, but my favorite is this one called Sacred Rebels.
Yeah.
I drew a card number 13, which I love. It's a really beautiful, I don't know my glare from my window. It's still light here. I don't know if you can see it, but it's a beautiful, beautiful card. It's called The Law of Attraction by Alana Fairchild. But I thought how appropriate. The message I've been getting lately about everything that's going on is stop thinking about it. You're attracting it. Everything. It's all over the news. Everybody's talking about it. So don't talk about it and it won't come to you. So this is what the card says. There is such wonder awaiting you. There are so many beautiful adventures and so much magic yet to be. Can you keep your heart open to what is coming towards you without surrendering your experience of this moment by becoming too future-oriented? You see, there is magic in this moment too. There is something arising within you out of the depths of your being. In this process, there is a shift in environment, both internal and external. A fertility is being stimulated. This is your time to play with that fertility, to conceive, create, and embark upon the process of transformation with an open heart and mind. You may not know where it is all going to lead. All you need to know is that it will be wonderful, exactly, perfectly what is needed. Beyond that, allow the energy of fertile growth and abundance that you now flow so naturally and richly within you and around you, simply to be.
And so it is, right?
So it is.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you. And that was, what was that called? The Rebel?
Sacred Rebels.
Sacred Rebel. Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Really beautiful artwork in that one. That's why I love it so much.
I love the cards too that just like shine on the sides of them. They're like really bright gold or silver or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Anything is shiny or sparkly, I'm all over.
What was the one that was, what deck was the Cali one from?
That was Doreen Virtues before she went crazy. Yeah. So
Cool.
I've got a bunch of them. So yeah, I enjoy doing cards, and I would encourage anyone to come on here and do card readings.
I love that you do that.
It's great when, because you never know what people are going to draw for that's in the greatest and highest good. And that's always the intention that I put in. What is the card for the greatest and highest good of our group? And the other one I had today was, it was Judgment reversed. So that was an interesting card as well. So anyway.
Hello, Greg.
Yeah. Hey, hello.
This is Tunes.
Hi, Tunes.
Well, Rob, AKA Tunes.
Okay. How are you?
That's my road name.
Okay.
Well, I just want your opinion. I'm being poked in the side here by whatever. Now, in meditating, I've always brought up a blue-white energy column to the crown. Your opinion on when it changes to gold?
Does it change to gold for you?
No, it did.
It did?
Correct.
So I'm not sure what the question is or the.
Well, the blue-white column I always brought up.
Okay.
At a point, something happened at a point, I couldn't bring it up. I could see the outline of blue and transparent movement in the center.
So you're talking when you're
When
focusing it on your third eye, right?
On the crown, third eye.
Okay.
And it finally, when I was trying to figure out why I couldn't bring it up, something said the accident. And then there's only one thing about the accident that could have happened, and I did, and all of a sudden it appeared and it was gold.
So it changed.
Right. And then I asked myself, well, why couldn't I bring up the blue white? And then all of a sudden the blue white appeared, and I had one column gold and blue white. Then it started spinning and changed into one color of the gold.
Bill?
Okay, so gold is I'm gonna say it's your 9th chakra, or possibly your 10th. I'm not sure. But yeah, that's your higher chakras, man. That's what you're doing is you're getting a download from way up here, coming down in through your crown and showing up in there in your third eye, possibly, like you said, from your accident. So it's a kind of a workaround that they're doing, is what I'm getting.
Well, what it's finally done and is now, there's a lot, there's more to it than this. But the last time, it finally came down and it stopped about 18 inches, 2 foot, something like that above my head. But the gold didn't stop. It kept coming and just covered me.
Right,
And
right,
it's
yeah.
still
So
there.
you're pulling
It's been
energy
there.
down from there, is what I'm saying. So that fits.
Well,
that fits in there. So
well,
yeah,
I'm just trying to. I'm trying to
hooked-
understand.
Okay, well, you've hooked into some higher powers, man. That's is what's happened here. So go with it, roll with it. Gold is a good color.
Yeah, well,
Gold is good.
I've been messing with in the past. I've been messing with the 8th, the 12th chakras, and I hadn't messed with them in a while. And the other day I said, well, I've got to mess with them, so I went to 12. And that column that's surrounding me is it turned to darker gold when I started doing the 12th chakra.
Right. Well, they go through silver, gold, platinum, and diamond. And there's one more, and I can't remember. I never can remember what that one is. But
Well,
you get if you're getting up to all 12, yeah, it's gonna not be a pure gold because there'll be more white light coming into it and silver light and yeah, all sorts of. You're getting into those higher chakras. We get into some different colors. So good on you, man. That's great.
well, you mentioned diamond. Now, when this all started, I was meditating, and I had that column. Next thing I know, I'm observing myself. And then forever how long it was like a projector, a little click, and now there's 3 of me sitting there, and I'm observing all 3 with the column. And that's when that's when I was told to hit the accident. Well, think about it, and that's when everything started, and it's still going on. Been about a month and 5 weeks. So I just want y'all to paint your opinions. Now, when we were sitting there, when I was observing the 3 of myself, we were sitting there in the shape of a diamond. Each one of us sitting at one point.
Syrian energy.
So, Tunes, you might want to work with Metatron on this one too, because that's kind of what I'm keying off of here. So, I'm just saying if you can. I mean, the thing about these archangels, they'll work with anybody, man. They really will. They're here to help in this process, big time. And I say that as a pagan.
And I appreciate your opinion.
Yeah, this is what Bo just put up, the chakras past the 12th. But as you saw in the picture I put up, the 12th chakra is the shimmering gold that Phil was talking about, which would make sense. So, yeah. Thanks, Phil.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I need to work with Metatron because I really need to revise James Tiburon's thing because he doesn't have any circles in it at all, and it needs circles. Thoth tells us this. The goddess tells me this. So yeah, I need to rework it. So I am going to be doing something and writing it out and sharing it soon on my channel, hopefully. But I appreciate that you brought that information up. I'll look it up on your site and make sure that I incorporate it.
I love
I appreciate your opinion. That I appreciate your opinions.
Oh, thank you, sir. I appreciate you sharing. It's awesome. I'm glad to hear somebody else is tapping into that stuff besides me.
Thank you, Jody. So Phil, I'm sending you some Metatron healing here. So, just know that no matter what path you guys are taking, Metatron's there with you, and that he's just one step, behind. He's always behind you. Hi.
She's got a cute voice. Yeah, no, I know about Metatron. I mean, well, yeah.
I know you do. Phil. I got that connection with you. There's like this, wavelength with you.
This is I had to get this statue when I saw it, and it's there he is with his Metatron's key he's holding there. So that the flower of life is so. This is the structure of the universe. Truly, the way I see it, anyway.
I would love to hear more what you guys know about the flower of life, because one night I was researching it. I've always loved it. I have a giant tattoo on my back of it, but I read that somebody was calling it the daisy of death.
What?
Yes. That's
you have to watch out because there's a lot of disinformation out there on stuff. No, I've never heard that.
Apparently they were saying that all the lines, the way the arc goes, that the petals are, that it ends up ending and it doesn't keep expanding, and that's why they were calling it the daisy of death. And I'm just like,
hey Jody,
oh,
Jody, how does that feel?
It feels like a lie.
Okay, well then let it be a lie to you. You create your reality by your interpretation. If someone gives you a validation of fear and it seems like something of trite crap, flush that shit and move on in your now. You got a tattoo on your back. That back is a symbol of expression. You decorate your body as the canvas of your journey. And that's a meaning to you. And whether that meaning changes or not, let it be subjective and not objective. Because I'll tell you what, if someone puts out diarrhea because they're looking for an ego to be validated, fuck them. Fuck them. And move on with your nows and be the awesome blossom that you are. And don't let people put their shadow on you. Because as soon as you said that, it was like crap to me. Hey, it's good crap. I get it. That's their thing. But don't that be your mojo. It's like, someone coming up to you and goes, why did you ever dye your hair red? You look horrible as a redhead. What are you trying to be, Scottish or something? Your hair's blonde. You know it doesn't belong to you. Let it go. Make sense?
Yeah, because I really love that symbol.
Well, then keep loving it. It's yours. Yeah. You got to be okay with your own divinity. I know you were. I know you were. And I'm just letting you know that one you can flush.
Well, I would like to pin a little point there. Because
okay, Bo Diddley.
Yeah, thank you. I have actually studied this the last couple of days, and just to get back to the number 108, right? I have Metatron's cube here, and they have incorporated with let's say the Fibonacci 60 digit. It says here, right? And everything makes up to sacred numbers. It's kind of amazing, but we have to remember that these are stuff that we are given. We have actually not searched into it. And here we have the seed of life, right? It's before the flower. So here they also engulfed it with the same Fibonacci 60 digits, and it all makes amazing numbers. 108, and like we just saw, amazing. It has a lot of what do we call it? Interpreting lines with the moon and the sun and the earth, right? So we get fascinated by this number. And then I would like to, I have it actually, a lot of it from Patty L. Bashard and Karen Ann McDonald, two magnificent people. And actually Patty says to have acquired the Ankh, something like that. But study into it. There's a lot of hours if you want to. Very amazing. But I have one more. Let me see. Oh, where was it? Yeah. So it is quite right that it is always going out with the Fibonacci. Here we have it, right? The lovely Fibonacci, and the plans looks like they are making this sacred geometry, as they call it, right? But actually, we have to remember, like, look behind Helga. Here we have the toroid. I know that the toroid is actually Earth and everything is built about. So it is actually coming back to us. It never just leaves, and that is actually what the sacred geometry of Fibonacci is doing. It's always leaving. Just saying. So we have to more think about the toroid behind Helga, and that's because it comes back. We are not just givers, we are also receivers.
Look at all the nines on there. Lots of nines on that.
Yeah, but we can also get caught in that sacred, mysterious shit.
You know, Jody, at one point somebody contacted me, and this person said, "You support the Flower of Life on In5D. I am not going to follow In5D anymore." I'm like, okay, good luck on your journey. This person contacted me. He unfriended me too, but then he sent me a friend request recently and said he was wrong. And he was talking about, you know, that daisy of death, like you were talking about. He thought that was the Holy Grail, which it's not. And like Roxanne said, what does your gut tell you?
Well, thank you for sharing that with me, because, you know, I did research on it and I've always loved it. In fact, my son also has this tattoo. It was the first time I'd ever heard of something like that, and it just didn't add up to me. But just like Roxanne said, my husband kind of helped me go through the emotions of it. I don't care what somebody else is saying. I know what it meant when I got it on my back.
Mm-hmm.
So I love that. But yeah, that's cool that somebody else had heard about it and said they were wrong.
Yeah, they're definitely wrong, Jody. They're definitely wrong. It's about completion, yeah. But that's what we're here to do, is complete the ascension, the move up to the next level. I mean, there are a million completions, right? You go from 1 to 9, and then you go from 10 to 19. So yeah, it just continues on. There is no end. It's a circle. It never ends. So it's enclosed in a circle. And what are we? We're enclosed in our skin, right? So this is just, it's a symbol of life, not a symbol of death. This is the negatives trying to pervert. I mean, they like to pervert everything.
Well,
I mean, they
you
do.
know, a circle is only two-dimensional. If you could look at the circle in the side, it would be a spiral.
Spiral dynamics.
Right. Well, this is.
And if you look at it in 5D, it would be a toroid.
All good shapes. Toroid is also the Merkaba. That's what you're doing with your Merkaba. That's what your heart does.
Exactly.
Your heart is a Taurus.
Exactly.
So we really don't need a spaceship. We could actually just change our frequency and be somewhere else if we just believe that we could do that. Totally.
In body, spirit, and mind. Great.
Yes.
And Gregory, I didn't notice, but I just found English word I have never noticed. Gregorious.
Gregorious.
Gregorius. Yeah, that's a company and chairmanship, something like, right? It's company.
I guess. This is my full name though, Gregg, Gregg. That's it.
Yeah, right. Gregorius.
Hey, Aileen. You're muted.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. How's everybody?
How was work?
It was slow.
Coronavirus is scaring people?
Yeah, I had the first customer that said they were not going to get the salad bar because of coronavirus.
Oh my.
The supermarket workers will be the last ones still at work.
Oh, you work at a store, grocery store?
No, I work at a restaurant.
Oh, yeah, because they've
At
got
a
the
state-
restaurants shut down. They're only doing drive-through traffic now in my town, and they've cleared out every paper product off the aisle. I couldn't believe it. Tried to go.
I know. I'm in Florida, so I know up north everything's pick up and to go now, but people are still, nothing has closed for businesses yet. Just Bike Week got shut down early. Daytona Bike Week, the permits got taken away, but everyone just took it inside and went to the bars and restaurants. And all the restaurants and bars and stores are still open down here. The only people that are out of stuff are like Walmart and Publix, and then all the dollar stores, they still have toilet paper, water, ramen. We got everything at Ace Hardware, CVS, Walgreens. It's not too crazy down here in Daytona yet, except the bikers mostly went home early.
Yeah, Publix here in Sarasota got wiped out today. A couple days ago, there was plenty of everything.
Publix has a toilet paper cake. Did you see it? A cake
No.
shaped like toilet paper roll. They got it down here.
That's
I'm
a
just
cool
sad
shirt.
hardly any customers saw my tie-dye shirt. It's not one of yours, but
No, it's
this
really
is,
cool.
like, my favorite shirt. Yeah, it's nice. They made it like this.
Awesome. Love the colors.
Thanks. One time I wore this shirt, I got a $250 tip. That did not happen today. Not even close.
Aw. Yeah, my daughter's
It's
a
okay.
bartender at Applebee's and in New York, and it's tough. Yeah.
So what's gonna happen to her? Does she still have to pay rent, even though she's gonna have a lot of days off work?
Well, she pays rent at her mother's house. She has a section of her house that's all hers. So I'm sure
Well,
her
that's
mother,
lucky for her.
yeah, her mother won't kick her out.
No, she's good. I wonder about all the other people that work at bars in New York and Boston. My sister said Boston already went to the same thing, pick up and to go.
What I heard here in Washington is that the Governor Isley declared a state emergency, and he's stopping mortgage payments and rent for the next month.
Work at bars in New York.
I don't know how the heck he's doing that. I heard that.
I would hope.
What you got there, Jody?
Energy, last crystal. I'm like a crystal hoard, and so I made myself stop buying crystals. So this was the last one I bought myself 2 years ago.
What
And-
kind is that? Is it clear quartz?
It's a Lemurian quartz crystal. I got it at the Tucson Gem Shows in Arizona because I lived right by there. But I don't know if you guys knew all of this, but when it has a flat point like that, supposedly it's a female, and then the ones that come to a full point are male. And so I was just really drawn to this, just kind of like a Mother Earth crystal.
Can you rotate it like slowly and
Yeah.
And talk.
and talk?
Yeah. It's really cloudy towards the bottom, but there's also a lot of I guess they call them record keepers. They have a bunch of lines in them that you can feel. And there's a lot of shapes also towards the back of it. I don't know if you can see them, but it's almost like an extra crystal was starting to grow. It's just some really neat patterns on there. Like, it's just really cool.
There's at least one window on that.
Yeah, it's just gorgeous. There's a little baby window right there.
Yep.
There's language on there.
Yeah, it's definitely
So
got
if you meditated with it, you would be able to receive the light language in a certain code and be able to be taken back to time during that time period, or you know, during that session, and they would, you know, give you a message to help you right now or for collective or whatever. But there's messages on there. Record keepers are the pyramid looking ones, and then the particles are the ones that look like they're growing out, almost like.
I don't know if I can get the light to catch what's growing right here, but it's a mirror like shape coming out of the crystal. It's like another layer, like a geometric shape, I guess.
And then another thing with any type of quartz related crystals like lumarian and quartz, they have keys and they look like hexagonal shapes almost like. And if you find one inside of your crystal or on your crystal, it'll actually, it's the key and you can make a bridge to it and open up a portal of like. And that's what I did when the Mercury retrograde happened, and that's probably why it started spiking.
This smoky quartz crystal has a point.
Oh, those ones are male, I guess, the ones that have points.
So it has a sharp point on the bottom. I just got this and I didn't know which way I should put the point. And then there's this facet, there's a male point on bottom and there's this facet on top sticking out. And I don't know what direction to put that either. Do the crystals feel comfortable a certain way? Because I thought mine felt comfortable.
Listen to what they say to you.
How does it feel to you?
Yep.
This one wanted me to put the male point facing down to the earth. And this little facet that's sticking out, it's very thin coming off the top. It wanted me to put that facing slightly away from me and slightly to the left towards my heart. So slightly to the heart and a little bit out, facing towards other people with it. And that's it. Yeah, interesting.
Listen to that because the stones
Trust yourself always.
can talk to you.
Trust yourself, please. Pretty please.
Yeah, that's a nice one too. Look at him.
So this has the coolest story behind it. So I always went to the Tucson gem shows every year because I lived there and it was only about an hour drive. But this particular year, I didn't get to go. In fact, it was 2 years in a row. So it was the second year. And my dad and I belonged to the rock club. So we would go and dig. And our friend had us come over. He's like, hey, I have some stuff for you, Jody and John is my dad. And he kind of knew because we had rock counted together that my favorite thing was rutilated quartz is my favorite. The gold little strands and rutilated quartz. And so he's like, come inside. I have something for you, Jody. And this was 4 days after I had not been able to go to the Tucson gem shows. All my girlfriends had went without me. And they'd asked me, what do you want? And I'm like, I have like $20 to spend, but if you can find a little sphere of rutilated quartz, just get me that. Well, they didn't end up being able to find one. And then 4 days later, our friend Al has me and my dad over and he's like, well, come here. I'm supposed to give you something, he told me. So I go into his house and takes me over to the shelf. And I don't know if you guys can understand how big this is. Like he hands me this entire sphere of rutilated quartz. And he had no idea like 4 days earlier that I had just, that's what the only thing I had wanted from the Tucson Gem Show. And he just like, it's supposed to be yours. And I just started bawling, of course, you know. So this is like mother of all my crystals.
That's spectacular.
There's so many golden rutilations in it. I mean, it doesn't even do it justice what's showing up here. Every which way.
It's beautiful. Really beautiful.
He said her name was Baby, so I added to it. I named her Glitter Baby because there's so many sparkles.
That sounds like the LOL dolls. Glitter Baby.
Yeah, her name is Glitter Baby.
I love it. That's a sexy one.
I really love all the crystal stuff you've been doing lately, Greg, because I'm really into that.
Me too. I learned so much from Adrienne Goff. She's a genius, and she's just such a lovable person and fascinating, and I can't brag enough about her.
Yeah, I like her too.
Mm-hmm. So Mark, what's Mark doing over there? He's doing something.
Oh, I was just showing my crystals. Yeah, I've had them for several years. I've had an altar, crystal altar, like a lot of us do. So, yeah, just all the stuff I've collected over the years. From labradorite to lapis lazuli. This is lapis lazuli, a heart.
It was a very sparkly one you were showing. It was blue.
Oh yeah. This is the Moldavite one, which is the ET one that I think she talked about during that crystal show, and it's very, there's a couple ET stones on the planet, but a friend made that one for me, but I put a light behind it so I could show it to people because it's so dark, because it's green, so it's hard to see.
Nice. Yeah. And what kind is that? What is that called?
A Moldavite.
Moldavite, yeah.
I think someone else showed their Moldavite a couple weeks ago. I forgot who it was already, but yeah. So,
yeah, I think I have a couple of those.
Wasn't it Bo? Bo showed his. That's who it was, actually.
Yeah, that was my.
Yeah. So.
Oh, there it is. Beauteous. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think everybody should have like some kind of way to meditate or have, because it does imbue your body and your energy meridians and your chakras with the energies of the stones. So everybody should have some kind of form of that when they get started after their awakening. It kind of boosts your energy, right? So, pretty much.
It's a great maintainer. It is like what we have the hardest thing to do, like maintaining shit, right? But stones, they just do it.
Exactly.
They are born to maintain.
And the pyramids too. When she brought out that, just like Gregg has the same one when Desi brought out hers today to show those are important to have in the house. I think almost every room should have a pyramid.
Yeah.
Every house should have one.
And I would like to make a little feature here, because when you have plants, right, look like when the leaves, they are long and small. What do we call it? Long and tight. They are male plants. If they are big and round, they are female plants.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, you should have plants in your house too. Yeah, exactly. Everybody should have plants and should have crystals. And crystals help plants grow better too, as we know that. There's been studies on that too to show that if you put certain crystals next to plants, their growth is, accelerated in some cases.
What you got there, Jody?
My twin sister gave me this. We have matching ones. It's mother of pearl inlaid pyramid.
Wow.
You can't see the mother of pearl really good, but it's all inlaid. Each little brick section is an inlay of mother of pearl. We took these to every vortex, Boynton Canyon, Bell Rock, and several other, and we charged them all over in Sedona at every vortex.
Yeah, I could see clearly. It's stunning, really. It's
Actually, there's
absolutely beautiful.
three. There's triplets. I
Yeah.
have one, my twin sister has one, and our dad has the other one. Our dad collects crystals, but not metaphysically. He just likes them. But me and my sister really love all the stuff about them. So
Wouldn't it be interesting if you guys all lived in proportion apart from each other as Orion's belt is?
it would be
Like
crazy.
two kind of like straight with each other, and then one kind of offset.
They're
That'd
both
be
in
really
Arizona. My sister's in Prescott and my dad's kind of in the Phoenix area. And then I'm in Oregon, so I blew it.
Yeah. Oh well, it's all your fault.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna get him to move here.
Right? I love seeing gemstones and crystals.
What I love is how crystals come to you, how they find you, and you know that one was meant for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I've lost some of them too. Like when I'm at like conferences, I always end up losing one because I bring them with me, and I'll leave one sometimes by accident and sometimes purposely. If you do that, that means you're leaving a piece of your energies there where it took place. So, so it was meant to be.
I found this, and it's the cheapest little crystal. I think I paid $3.95 for it. But I was in Sedona again, digging through this endless bowl of crystals, and they were really small. And at the bottom of it, I find this one, and I asked the guy, hey, I got this out of that bowl. Obviously, it's not supposed to be in there, but there was no other bowls that have this size. And he's like, no, sometimes big ones sneak in there. I'll still give it to you for $3.95. And so a $4 crystal has become like my most sacred crystal to me. I take this everywhere. I wrapped it in a piece of leather, and then I make these little glass cabochons, and I set one in there. But if that leather wasn't there, you'd be able to tell that it's a scepter wand, which they have like a clump right here, and then they go straight. Those ones are called scepters. But I put the leather right around the bottom of the scepter. $4. It's my favorite personal crystal.
Job.
It's supposed to be mine, and it fits right between the boobs too. It's perfect.
We don't believe you.
Nah,
We believe you.
That was a suggestion.
Hey.
Well, a lot of girls, you're probably one, Jody. You probably have a few stuffed in the bra, don't you? When you go out.
I was gonna say it's a good idea, especially with the shungite that Desi makes. I put a piece, they put it on the back of phone cases now. So to protect yourself from the harmful radiation, women should probably be putting that because a lot of them get breast cancer in that area. So.
I wonder if they could actually get a mammogram and just put some shungite underneath like the boob while they're getting a mammogram.
Or just don't get a mammogram.
No, I agree with that.
I've never had one, nor will I ever.
Good. You shouldn't.
What do you guys think that? What do you guys think that? Because I heard that the shutdown was to distract us from all the political arrests that are going on for crimes against humanity. What do you guys think they're really trying to distract us from? What do you think the distraction is for? Because one time, New York City, they shut down all the highways, and people took pictures of big military artillery trucks and giant ones bringing something in all in a row, bringing something into the city. And they were the only ones because no one was allowed on the road. But I'm wondering what they're actually trying to cover up with this up north states shut down, and they're trying to scare us and say the country might be shut down. Like, what do you guys think is the real thing that's going on that they're trying to get attention away from?
Somebody gave me an MP3 on Facebook before I got kicked off Facebook today. And it said,
Again?
Yeah, again. And it said something along the lines that New York State is going to be shut down. And this guy got the information directly from, you know, these state troopers and so on and so forth. New York State's going to be shut down tomorrow. And I'm like, well, I'm taking that with a grain of salt. But I did send a message to my daughter and her mother and my daughter's half sister about what's going on. And I said, take this with a grain of salt. My intuition's telling me it's probably a hoax. I don't think New York's going to get shut down tomorrow. But, you know, there's a lot of crap that's going on. And I think it's to keep us in that lower vibratory level of fear. And, you know,
Well,
that's
if
why
you want to believe the authorities, Greg, if you want to believe the governor, Cuomo, and all that stuff, I mean, it's what we put our attention. So if you want to believe in all the fear that he's putting out during his news conferences, then you're probably going to get that reality here, you know,
right. Yeah,
they're pushing. So
yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah, I know that they're trying to fear in us so we create hell realities for ourselves instead of bringing the heaven frequencies to earth and the higher frequencies down. They want us to get stuck in low. I'm just wondering if there's something like big going on that's happening, and they want us to all look at the news about the coronavirus instead of it, but I don't know what it would be.
Yeah, there's that rumor about Tom Hanks possibly being arrested out in Australia, and the cover up is that he has the coronavirus and doesn't want to get extradited.
Yeah, they're trying to get us to that. Yeah, I want to know what's really going on though. Like what's really happening that has nothing to do with coronavirus, because I think it's all a big hoax. Like you said, it's all a big distraction. I think something with the deep state and the cabal and some elites are falling. I think some high elite people are sick and dying, and maybe that's happening.
You know what I think, Alina?
Well, here's something to think about, though. I mean, we're talking about, you know, the coronavirus and people being arrested and thing, as though we do have the internet available to us still, right? I mean, as long as we have internet access, we have communication, they're not going to shut it down. Now, when they start shutting down the internet, when all of a sudden nobody's able to log on to anything, then I think we're looking at, oh my God, they're really going to try to do everything they can to stop this from happening. So
that's what I think won't happen.
As long as we have internet access available, we're good, right? Because we can still communicate. We can still pass energy back and forth. But man, when all of a sudden we try to log on and nothing works, we're going to have to find another way to communicate with each other. I suggest we all just meditate and try to contact each other that way, you know? Sorry.
I'm really happy.
Not a bad idea, actually. That last little bit there was inspired, man. But the important thing is we need not to get it. We must not fall into fear, because this brings our vibration down. That's what they want. They don't want us to have. We're the driving engine of this event, and we need to stay out of fear, and we need to be as loving and compassionate and kind as we can be. That's what we need to do. That's all we need to do, really.
Well, I think more and more people are waking up, and for the first time in my life, I think that, you know, the 100th monkey or the 51%, I think we're there. I think we're there, and that's why everybody's calling their bluff. Everybody's saying, hey, this isn't what's going on. And so I think it's really happening this time that we can see right through what's going on.
And they're
singing, I can tell you
singing
one
in
thing.
Italy.
The U.S. military will never fire on civilian population. It will not happen, because there are sons and our daughters. They will not fire on us on order from some damn tyrannical dictator. It will not happen. So incidents like My Lai, nobody here but Phil and I probably remember My Lai, but you know, the whole army culture changed because now you challenge orders like that. You refuse to follow an illegal order, and it might cost you, you know, your rank, but hell, they're not going to turn me into a killing machine. So I can guarantee you, at least in this country, don't worry about our military turning their guns on us. When that starts happening, when the orders come out, they're going to come over to our side. Okay, and they're going to be part of this agent for change if it has to happen. God, I hope we don't have to go there, but that's why, you know, people like Phil's keep saying, come on, just don't buy into the fear. They're trying to make us afraid. Okay, there's nothing to be afraid of. Okay, we've won already. We've already won this. You know, we know it. Let's just keep positive and keep supporting each other. I love you guys so much. Let's just be happy. You know. It's a choice.
Don't worry. Boop, boop.
Be happy. Yes, it is. It's that simple. It really is.
Happy, joy.
It is that simple. Happy, joy. You know, really, man. Don't be Ren. You know, be Stimpy. Okay.
What you got, Elena? What are you showing us? What is this?
Do you guys see it? The sun.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That's a sunrise, right? On the ocean right here on the east.
Looks like a light bulb.
Looks like an eye.
Okay, yes. Guess what? Yeah, okay. So I think it looks like a light bulb. And my fiance took that picture just the day before yesterday. And I'm wondering if, no, it was 2 days before yesterday. And that kind of weird energy has been going on. And I'm wondering if there's like super high frequencies, like that light bulb accompanies long pause. It's a very, very, very long pause in that picture, and also just the whole day that day and the day before and the day after. And you can see these weird things coming out of it. And you know, a pause like the joke they said of unplugging 2020 and plugging back in. And I'm wondering if there's such pure 0 point frequencies that they're trying to put fear in us so that all we'll do is not sit still, because that's all we would have to do is sit still to pick up the light codes in that sunrise. And in every day, all day, every day, our air and our light is completely saturated with that light bulb pause frequency and a lot of love, pure frequencies and 0 point for anyone. And we just gotta sit still. And I'm wondering if maybe it's like not even nothing, except they don't want us to sit still because it's so pure and beautiful and love.
Have you
all
looked
we
at the
need
top?
to do is sit still.
Did you look at the top right of that picture again? Can we look at that?
I'm gonna put
There's
it back
something-
on real quick for a sec. I'll put it back on real quick for a sec. Yeah, here it is.
There's something up in the top right.
There is a bean in the top right corner, I saw.
Yeah, there's something up there, and look at the shape. It looks like there's that beam, and then there's like a rectangle.
Yeah. Yes, and yes, there's
It looks
some
like a Pegasus on the
waves.
right-hand side.
Just
And look how clear the water is.
Isn't
Like
that
the
awesome?
water is
It's an
in
awesome
HD.
picture. Yeah, that's a beautiful picture.
Thanks. My love took that when he was at work, because he goes to work at like 5:45 a.m., 6 in the morning.
Alina, I heard the coolest story once that goes along with what you said. You know, we all have heard the story of the floods, and it's all in ancient texts and everything. But the people, something that I read, and I can't remember where, said that the people who weren't in fear, it felt like milk and honey flowing to them. It wasn't a flood. So really, where we're staying in our hearts together, especially when we come together like this, and it's happening all over the world, this isn't going to be this doom and gloom thing. It's going to be beautiful. We're going to be still, we're going to be in light, and we're going to do it together.
And I'm at work serving love. It's like milk and honey to me. Like sometimes I get close to a table that they remember me from last year and they've been waiting for me. And I just feel the love as I come to their corner. And it's like it gets me high off love frequency. I feel like I just fucking just shot some love straight into all my heart and my veins. And it's just because of them looking at me. And then me, I'm out there serving love still. And really, that's how we be anarchy and how we rebel, is we're picking up this shit and it's crazy. And it's been happening a lot. A lot of people, like, I just feel it, how important we all are to each other and the love that we're sharing. They give me tips and I give them food, but it's way beyond that. It's the fact that they're willing to be in the world and I'm willing to be in the world, and we're all here down for anything. We know it does feel like milk and honey for some people that are with.
We can use this to our advantage. We can use everything that they're doing to come together and be stronger in love than we ever have, because just like you, I have felt way more love the last few weeks that this has been happening. People are seeing through it and coming together. And like Greg said, they're singing to each other in Italy. We're feeling love.
And remember how some people are hoarding toilet paper and others are hoarding ramen and others are hoarding water. So if everybody gets together that are neighbors, you can trade all your toilet paper, water, and ramen noodles, and we'll all have food, water, and toilet paper and come together as a community. Like, if it happens so bad that we have to do that, we'll all trade fucking, I swear, I know we're gonna all just trade stuff with each other.
I can see somebody coming to your restaurant. Excuse me, what's today's special? Love.
Oh, I've done worse stuff than that. Like, they come in and I just know they're down for the shit and make. Yeah, I've said worse than that about political uncorrectness.
Yeah.
I'm not good at work. I say the wrong thing at the wrong time. But
Still there.
That's part of like me. They know I'm gonna say the wrong thing at the wrong time.
I actually had a funny look at that picture. Can you show it again, and I will tell you what I saw. It's I saw like this sun had a hard time letting go of the earth. So it's like two soap bubbles that are trying to get apart from each other, and they are gonna extract. Right? Until, whoa, suddenly they let go, and okay, now the sun is out and the earth is hers. I just had that picture.
It's like the sun has a hold of the earth, like it's hugging us. More than the sun is hugging us, but we're being hugged, we're being held. I said something like, pause, everybody momentarily hold, we're being held by the creators of the universe.
I see a Pegasus here. Like, here's the head, here's the wings. It's a horse's body right here.
True.
I see a Pegasus.
Yeah,
I do too, and I see a rectangle behind the Pegasus. There's something up there.
I definitely see a
I never
Pegasus.
And there's a
said this
wisp
to
on
you
the
guys,
left too. Yeah, there's a
but,
little tiny wisp.
everything is connected, as you know, in the cosmic web. So everything from our stars to our sun to the earth to all the planets, you can talk to them just like we're talking to each other right now. You can have a conversation with your telepathic inside voice, and they'll respond. They'll send you messages, but you may not be able to, perceive them, but you'll get like a download. It'll come to your subconscious eventually. But that's what I learned when I had my contact experiences. I started, being able to realize that everything is conscious in the universe, and we're all connected. Everything that we see in our reality that you can communicate with, it doesn't matter what it is. So
I love that.
Because we're all one, and that's what my star family helped me to realize when I had my awakening several years ago. And so anyway, that's just what I never said that when I was describing my story, because there was a lot to lay out, and it would take me a whole hour to unravel everything that I started to find out during that time period. So, but I still talk to two different planets till this day. My two favorite are Jupiter and Venus, and like right now, Venus is up in the zenith part of our sky right now. If you look to the west, it's at about 80 degrees, but you can communicate with any of these planets. And if you can sing to the planets, just like you can sing to our star family up there, to all of our galactic cousins and brothers and sisters, you can sing to them too. They love it too. They'll respond to you too. If you open up your consciousness, they love it when we sing to them. That's what I was going to say to you guys earlier when you were mentioning, when Gary was mentioning listening to his music, because that's one of the best ways to raise our vibration. So on our planet and on for us as humans, you know, before you raise your vibration and they can sense it and feel it. And so you're clearing all your, you know, negative energies you might have, and you just by raising your vibration, by singing, you know, beautiful songs like the ones that Gary was mentioning from the hippie era, stuff like that, like, you know, Come On People Now, that song by the Young Bloods, all those, because if you could try to sing death metal, but it wouldn't be the same effect, is what I'm basically trying to say, because that's kind of a lower vibrational music. But there are certain songs that.
So what do you sing to them? What do you sing to them?
I used to have a whole set list, but the song that I would always end on every night would be True Colors. That was my final song that I would sing by Cyndi Lauper.
You know, our cells are doing
so
this
beautiful.
to us. Our cells are talking to us like you're talking to the sun. You can go out and talk to the sun and planets, but you can go in and talk to your cells and organs, and they're trying to talk to us too, like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Everything's connected.
As above, so below, as within, so without. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and I want to lay in there on what he just said. UFO maniac. Yeah, I've done this. I've contacted the sun. I talked to the sun, talked to the planet. I haven't really talked to all the others, but you know, I can do that. They are communicating. Trees are communicating. Everything will communicate to you if you'll stop, go within and ask the question and, you know, wait. Especially with trees right now up here. They're kind of asleep right now.
The sun, that's who I talk to the most in the trees, and the sunrise. And I talk to the sun in the middle of the night when it's 2 and 3 a.m. when it's on the other side of the world. But that's who I get all my information from mostly, is the air and the sun and the sunrise and the trees and my cat. There's light language in that picture too. I hear a lot of words and sounds, and I get a lot of dancing and just meditating, but I do hand motions and hand gestures, and I never knew what it was till I looked it up a few years ago. And it's to bring the geometries down of the sound, and when the vibration of sound goes out and you hear it and you move the shapes with your body, it brings it to not only yourself but to everything around you, and it imprints it on everything, because it just makes those ripples and it comes down. So there's a lot of, like, it'll go weeks with the same stuff and days with the same stuff, but recently it's been a lot of new feelings, and it takes me a little bit, but there's a lot of stuff coming in for us, and I'm wondering if they really just don't want us to notice this sun solar love coming in. These just love waves, straight love waves.
Yeah, I think you're right, Eileen, because that's what they want to do. They want to keep us from ascending. They want to keep us in this lower energy of fear. Right. I mean, they don't want us. It was getting really close, right? We were almost there, so they had to throw this out there and really make a big mountain out of a molehill.
I see the Schumann resonance in every single person I'm looking at. I see that wave over all of us tonight, even myself. That's awesome.
Okay, so what is that telling you?
What's it look
we're
like?
all being downloaded. We're all receiving right now at the same time the same information. That's what it looks like to me. I can't see those guys, but yeah, it looks, I mean, it was very, what's this guy's name? the guy that was just talking.
Oh, Mark. Me?
Yeah, you.
Yeah. Okay.
When you started talking, it went ooh all the way down, and I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. And I started looking at everybody, and that's when it started. It was quite interesting. I was like, ooh, and look at Desiree in the top.
When two or more come together in love.
And it's all over you can see it better because you got a bright light on you. You can see it better in the background, or I can. I don't know if anybody else is able to see this. That's why I'm bringing it up.
I do have a pyramid in my background, and like where I'm sitting, so you guys could be feeling the energy of the pyramid too. That's I grounded too. So
well, you got
it was
your light
perfectly made for me. So I'm we're getting that energy out there. Like you said, we're all
Can you see the halo over her head? I realize she's got a light behind her and everything, but that helps us to see the light, to have more light. Do you see
Actually,
the halos?
I was going to mention that to you when you said you saw energy several weeks ago, because that's what I started to be able to see, subtle energy around every object that I look at in this reality. That's part of the downloads I received. So I can see it on my own hand, whatever I put it in front of my face, I can see this like semi-translucent field
There
of
it is
energy.
again.
But I'm never able to see the colors yet. I haven't to be able to develop it enough to be able to see any colors, but I can see like this translucent, semi-translucent field of energy, especially birds.
That's exactly
Birds flying through the air, I see this bubble of energy surrounding them as they fly. And when I see a flock of geese, like we have Canadian geese up here, I can see the entire flock moving in one big energy field through the sky. It's amazing stuff. But I was thinking maybe more and more people were able to have that ability to see like I am because of what's been happening. The energy's raising though. Maybe I'm not special is what I'm trying to say. Maybe more and more.
No, you're not special. You're no more special than any of us.
Right. No one's special is what I'm trying to say because we all have these abilities to see.
It was,
If you want to see your own aura, put your hand up against the white wall and just have it and right there, and just you can focus with your third eye and you can start seeing. It goes up to 1/2 inch to 2 inches long, depending on the energy frequency. But from your own hand, that's how much the energy can go, be seen from your own self. But when you first start practicing, but as more you practice, the energy gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
And close your eyes and you'll see the hand there still. And then you open your eye again and you'll realize that you're seeing outside of your hand. And then
wow.
Okay.
Okay.
And so, I mean, that is a good practice. That is very good. I do that a lot.
Hey, go ahead.
I see those around everything, but things like this cat right here and you and everything like that is moving alive, moving spirit, or because I kind of think everything's the same alive. It's all made out of the same energy in some way, shape, or form. It's the same. It came from the earth. Everything we make, everything, it's going to go back to it, and it's going to
and trees too. If you go outside, you can see an energy field around surrounding trees, the same as it's their aura you're seeing, and I can see it just like again with people.
And a lot of times you can see the wiggling of the oxygen release, especially down here in Florida. You can see the heat, but you can actually see the oxygen release within that aura space. And then above it, it's the heat, because that aura keeps them their temp. They like that heat. You love Florida. I was born here, and I'll tell you what, I would rather be cold any day than hot. I can't stand to sweat.
Yeah. Heard.
So Jody and I.
I'd rather be hot any day than cold.
Not me, man. I know.
Jody and I actually coaxed Patty to come out in the open here, and she made it onto the Zoom. Hi, Patty. You can say hi to us. You're unmuted. Well, and I'm trying to unmute you. There, whoop.
Well,
there you are. You're unmuted.
Oh
Say
my.
hi. Hi.
Hi.
You made it in here. So that wasn't so difficult, was it?
Wow. How long? I started in what, 2009, following you?
Wow. Right from the beginning.
Yeah. Well, it's
we
sort
have
of
our own
strange,
little
but we
rabbit
all
hole.
come back to the same thing, the basics.
Yeah.
Thought, will, and light.
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah.
Here we are.
Yeah.
I've got you on a screen, so if I'm looking up this way.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm so nervous.
You're doing fine. This isn't so bad. This is, like Jody said in the chat room, this is her second time on here, and it gets easier, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, there's so many things I'd like to say, but it's not my hour. So I just want to continue being part of conversation, and I don't want to be interfering in anything. I'm just
No.
sort of.
People need to hear you. People want to hear you.
I'm in Canada.
Okay.
I'm in BC. Most of us are aware that this is a ruse, except for my daughter, who's running out of toilet paper. Like I say to her, get back to the basics. It's okay. We have a shower, hand shower.
Maybe she have some lonely socks.
It's so funny. But yeah, no, there's a lot I'd like to say for the first time I speak, but I'm smoking a joint and I'm just like, wrong time, Greg.
Well, we're glad you made it on, and feel free to jump in anytime.
Okay. Yeah, thanks.
All right. Awesome. Yeah, thank you.
Well,
So Jason, go ahead.
Okay, well, I was just like to tie a knot because I have been resonating on this lily of death that Jody mentioned, and I'm very happy that you mentioned it because I have been studying this for the last 2 days. It's synchronicity, right? So now when I'm resonating, it makes quite sense because we cannot have only the flower of life. We need the lilies of death. Yeah, it's like Shiva and Vishnu. It's the sign of Scorpio. It's regeneration. It's life and death. And they go hand in hand together down the road, right?
I love that.
So
as long as you remember, you don't fear even death, because that's just the body, the avatar that's dying. It's not you.
As I said, it's a transformation.
Right. Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
Vishnu and Shiva, they go together hand in hand.
Yes.
So Jason, we see you sitting there. You haven't been talking at all. Here's your
I'll
chance.
just say g'day, everybody.
What's
from
going
Australia.
on? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. Australia, huh?
Yeah.
What time is it there?
1:34
In the morning or
PM.
in the morning? No.
PM.
PM, afternoon. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, awesome. Great. Thank you for joining us again. You've been here before, but you're being awfully quiet today.
Oh, sorry.
That's
I'm
okay.
shy still.
All right. So what's the coronavirus situation out in Australia? How are you guys doing?
It's silly.
Yeah.
They're making pensioners and disabled people go to the shops early in the morning in the freezing cold.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just waiting to see what the Prime Minister says next.
Do you have any toilet paper?
Yeah, we got a few rolls.
Okay. All right. So what's the deal with Tom Hanks?
As far as I know, he's locked in his hotel room. I don't think he's allowed to speak to the Australian public.
Yeah. See, the rumor going around here is that he's about to get arrested or he has been arrested. You haven't heard anything about that yet, have you?
No, not yet. He's just locked in his hotel room, as far as I
Okay.
know.
All right. Well, dang, after all the fires you guys had out there, what do you think about? Do you think there was that directed energy weapons that was part of those fires?
I think it was part of the chemtrails, because the chemtrails is sparkler dust.
Okay. Yeah, and this whole coronavirus, the patents out there's at least 5 or 6 different patents at least that go back to the year 2014.
Yeah.
This has been in the making for a long time. The whole world knows, yeah, I'm sure there are people dying. I'm not sure if it's of the coronavirus or just the regular flu or whatever, but it's gotten to a point of it's way out of control, and a lot of us aren't buying the whole gravity of what they're trying to push. We're staying in that spiritual center of where we need to be.
Most people are pretty good here. They don't believe what the government or the news says anyway, at any time.
Yeah, good. Yeah. But that's the beauty of
sorry.
Go ahead. No.
There's still a few crazies anyway.
Yeah.
They're just lower frequency energy. They need to raise their energy and see the truth.
Mm-hmm. This is the beauty of this kind of chat, where we can get live reports all around the world, from anywhere, what's really going on, right? And we get the truth, and get to hear about the awakening of other countries of what's going on. How are people awakening? Are they awakening, or are they staying asleep? But it's good to hear that in Australia, just like here in the United States, people are waking up, and it's exponentially happening. Just like the 9/11 crap that went on, this coronavirus is going to backfire on them, just like 9/11, and even more people will awaken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have a question for you. How beautiful is Australia since it's growing back?
I haven't been out to see the bush, but I've seen it on telly. It's growing back pretty quick.
Oh, I'm happy for you.
It's just a shame for all the animals. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining in on the conversation, Jason.
Yeah, anytime.
And feel free to jump in anytime, I see you sitting there and you're listening, and I'm sure you got things to say.
Well, if you want to hear about my awakening,
Sure.
I woke up. Pardon?
Sure.
Yeah. I woke up when I was a kid. I was born with cerebral palsy, and I went to a special school, and I always had books from my mum about numerology and stuff, and started there, and just shine my light everywhere now for everybody. I learnt that as a child. We used to heal each other at school. What do I do now? Nothing much except shine love now and light everywhere, because I think more and more people need it at the moment. And I try and carry a crystal with me all the time, just to make me remember that I've got to shine my light and love everywhere. And I think it helps boost my energy a little bit. I have a big crystal here that I keep. I don't know if you can see it.
Nice.
But this one come to me about 10 years ago, and it's called itself the Librarian. It's got many facets. It's been to Dorian Virtue workshops with me and collected all that energy. I don't know what to say. I'm just happy that I can talk to you guys.
That's a beautiful crystal you have. And you have a really cool mom to teach you about numerology.
Yeah. And she taught me a little bit about tarot cards and some of Louise Hay's knowledge. So I think it was through Louise Hay that I learned how to heal people. So thanks to her anyway.
Mm-hmm.
No real bad comes to me because I try and stay positive, and it just all seems to happen all around me, and good people come and talk to me, and or what? I don't know. I got too many words inside my head, Greg.
It's okay. You and many other people are anchoring that light that's needed in Australia. We're all lighting up the grid, but you know, you guys over there are playing your part as well. You know, it's really important that we all do this.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
We've got to just hold our positions and shine the light.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. Well, once again, thank you for sharing again.
Nice to meet you.
Oh.
Nice to meet you too, Diane.
Yeah.
I've been listening to you for a while.
Oh, well, thank you. It's
You're
great to
very
meet you.
wise.
You come back and you join us with just open your mouth. I can't hardly speak either sometimes. It goes 100,000 miles in there.
Yeah,
and
me
it's
too.
very hard for me to get it from here to here, and but I still I say what I have to say.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, my picture's a bit dark. I'll try and work it out for next time I'm on. I'm trying to find the best place to put it so you can see my face better.
Okay.
Yeah.
You'll figure it out. It's
Yeah.
yes. Yes.
Kelly, you have a really kind spirit, Jason.
Thank you very much, Jody. I try to shine wherever I go. Actually, my body's heating up at the moment. It might be nerves, but it's also energy raising inside my body.
I had that first time too.
I'm also sending Oregon energy through. So if you see this light shining like on my little thing, I'm shining a light through the mirror, so it automatically goes through. So the mirror penetrates through the Oregon and through basically the whole system. So if you feel warm or tingly or fuzzy, it's part of healing process too. And I'm sitting on the pyramid here, penetrating positive energy to everybody here. So
thank you.
You guys should possibly be able to sleep good tonight, hopefully.
Do you see that on top of her head right there? Right there?
Mm-hmm.
Right there? Oh, that's beautiful.
So Kaylin, I see you're here. You haven't said anything yet.
Hey guys, how's everybody doing?
Hi.
I have a question for everyone as far as these energies coming in and what they're seeing or feeling. Has anyone been seeing or getting any kind of intuitive messages about rainbow energies? Or most recently for me, the rainbow prophecy, which to be honest, I haven't even looked up yet, but I had I guess I'll call it an activation the other day. And
I started saying that when he was talking. Do you remember the rainbow prophecy?
That's May.
What was
that's my birthday. It's coming up.
So I don't know much about it or what it has to do with. Does anyone have a connection that they can make? Because I have been getting rainbow imagery really strong since the summer, and I started seeing rainbow energy in the sky more and more and more. Now it's just about every day, and they usually look like little bars, like as opposed to a full arch. And today I was driving, and I was actually driving through Virginia, and you know, it's wide open, and there was a rainbow that went around the entire sun. It was like very thin, and of course I tried to take pictures. I was driving on the highway, and I did get it, but rainbow is like kind of hard to capture because of the lighting anyway, but it's 100%. I mean, I was just wondering if anyone else is seeing anything like that.
Oh yeah.
I haven't seen anything, but I got some downloads about working with rainbow energy. And like my husband hasn't been feeling well off and on, and he was laying in the right spot in our living room the other day, and I just picked, I have this like 50-sided prism, and I just held it up to the window, and I just made the rainbows go all over him. And I knew that it was healing, like it's really working with light. It's just energy, it's all energy. But they say, the prophecy says that when the energies are really bad or whatever, this tribe of people are gonna come together. And I really think it meant rainbow as in every color, every creed, every nation, every religion is going to come together. We're going to drop all of that and stay connected and be love and light and anchor that here.
Yeah, and it's also saying something about the season, which is May. It's we're supposed to look for that to happen in the spring, basically.
In May, that's my birthday. I love that.
Yes, that's the reason I know that. I studied it a long time ago, and it's one of the things I've been looking for, you know.
Going to Mount Shasta in May. My husband asked me, where do you want to go? And I'm just like, I have to go to Mount Shasta. I have to go there on my birthday. So we're going to be there in May.
Man, that's the last mountain I was on too. That's awesome. And I loved it. I went up and walked up up and looked into everything that you could see up on the trails and everything. It was awesome. I walked away from there feeling so good because it's all got all that sulfur and stuff like that. You know, it stinks, but it's actually good for you in small doses.
Apropos.
So is it okay if I read something about the rainbow prophecy? It says, there will come a day when people of all races, colors, and creeds will put aside their differences. They will come together in love, joining hands in unification to heal the earth and all her children. They will move over the earth like a great whirling rainbow, bringing peace, understanding, and healing everywhere they go. Many creatures thought to be extinct or mythical will resurface at this time. The great trees that perished will return almost overnight. All living things will flourish, drawing sustenance from the breast of our mother, the earth. So that's what I just pulled up about that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, Caitlin, you know what you can use rainbow for? Oh. If you don't know what's wrong with you or what's wrong with somebody, use rainbow because it's got everything in it. Or white, because white is rainbow, but rainbow, it's got everything you need. And also it's coming right now for everything that she just said.
She said about the mythical creatures, and everybody saw that Pegasus in your picture.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the interdimensional beings are going to start showing up for a lot of people.
They're here.
Me too.
They're here.
Well, they're here, but they're not here for everybody yet. Not everybody can see them yet. But I think
a lot of people can't even handle grasping it.
I think many more will start seeing them, and they're going to be confused, and they haven't gone through a spiritual awakening that many of us have. So they're going to think they're going crazy, and they're going to think they should go into mental hospitals.
That's what the rainbow children are for, so that we can be like, no, it's cool, you're good. That's what I do. I'm like, no, you're good, don't worry.
Exactly.
You're right. No,
Exactly.
you're not crazy. That's what
I think so that we're going to be healing with our light. And if you think about what a rainbow is, it is all those different vibrations of
He
light.
said us LSD survivors will do fine.
But what was your name that had asked the question,
Caitlin?
Caitlin, yeah.
I really think that the rainbow energy coming through is that we're all combining our light and creating that rainbow, and it is going to heal. It's going to heal everything.
because I'm not kidding. It has been so strong and so tremendous, as has everything been, right, guys? But this for me, like, especially today, I'm like, come on, I get it. It was one of those moments for me. But the other thing, just as far as my feelings and my emotions, I've been so happy. And I feel like when I'm around other people, especially the ones that are panicking about all this Corona stuff, I'm like, sorry, but you can dance, you can chill, you can enjoy yourself. I don't know. And I think it has something to do with it for me. Maybe it's on a personal level, and it does have to do with what's happening right now. And I really love the way that you connected that. I don't know. I guess I just have to do a little bit more sitting with it. But I have been so overjoyed recently, like for 3 days straight now. And the rainbow imagery has been crazy. It's just been like, everything is even, like, it's working out for me. Like, small things are so easy. Like, of course, we always say finding parking spots, but beyond that, just timing and not planning and just things falling into place throughout my entire day. And it just feels different. It feels different. It's exciting. I'm excited. I mean, again, I think that there's so many beautiful things to look forward to with people being home. Like, people are off from work. Not only are they spending time with their family, but, you know, this is a great time for people that have a job that they hate, that maybe have an entrepreneurial idea to start cracking on that. Or, you know, just getting to know their neighbors, like seeing kids outside playing during the week because they're off from school. Like, I think that's pretty cool. We work really hard generally in America. There's so many overachievers and all of that. So it's nice to see people being forced to take a break, and no sports on top of that. So it's like, maybe they're listening to music instead of watching, you know, whatever professional sports team. Or I just think there's so many opportunities for us to connect on a different way and challenge each other too. Like going back to, everyone gives these teenagers a hard time. They're always on their phone, for example. Well, now they're home from school and now they're outside and they're learning how to not just maybe be inside all the time. I don't know. And again, the weather, I guess it depends where you're at, but I've just been seeing so much more of that. And I feel like we're really breaking some boundaries. Or some norms.
I feel the
putting family back.
Yeah.
Putting family back together.
Mm.
Making people stay home from work.
Yeah, and they're like cooking at home more because all the restaurants, or a lot of them, are closed or have limited hours. And someone, I think, I don't know who it was because I was just listening, but like, some people are running out, and the ones that are buying all the toilet paper, buying all the wood, are like in panic mode. I do think that if there is a time where, or a day or something that comes up that where it is, you know, undesirable, we'll use that word, they will be generous and they will help their neighbor out. And I think that the humanity in us is just got like that harmony piece. Like, that's what we have forgotten about on this planet, is harmony. So I think that this is an opportunity for us to kind of bring that back. And for some, it will probably be sooner than others, but I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it a lot.
Yeah.
When was the last time that 70, 80% of the world's population were all at home? It's pretty intense to think about.
Not even in the 60s, really.
No.
Think about it.
Probably the early 1900s.
Little
Yeah.
house.
You know, I think my grandfather was born in 1907.
It was the bubonic plague. It was the Black Plague when a third of the world died.
Yeah, that's probably it.
But you think about, when I think about his life, he lived to be 99. And I think about all that he saw in his lifetime, just over 100-year period.
Man, that's awesome. Look at what we're saying.
Everything. You
Phil,
know?
what do you have there, Phil?
What I have here is the dolphin. These are the spirit animal awareness cards. And what is dolphin telling us? Be joyful, playful, fun, protected, cooperation, compassion, sensuality, deep wisdom, breath work, singing. These are the messages of the dolphin. And the only downside or shadow side, suppressed emotions. So sing from the passion of your heart, be joyful, and you're protected.
And that goes right along with the Rainbow May Day type thing that we were talking about earlier.
Right, and
Thank
on
you,
the
Phil.
rainbow, oh, I'm sorry.
No, I just said thank you. That's it.
Yeah.
So on the rainbow, there's also the Rainbow Bridge. So this is a moving up into a higher dimensional vibration.
Valhalla.
Valhalla, right. So, but I've heard Patricia Gow something or other. She talked about the 13th gate being opened, and I kind of got the impression of the Rainbow Bridge with that one too. So I think we're in this period of as they say, of this rainbow prophecy.
I'm sorry, but this was in 2000 early. It was spring 2018, and a bridge was opened. There is a huge one. There's a double rainbow, and it was round. This was actually right after, when the other gateway was opened in September 2017 with the Nibiru coming through. So I don't know if you see that, but I'm confirming the energy has been here for a couple years, but is just now coming on really strong because it's time to come out, I'm being told. And I just want to confirm and let you guys know that I captured it. It was in Peoria, Illinois. So yeah.
It was in Pyramid, Illinois.
Oh yeah, Pyramid, Illinois. Okay. Okay.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah. We're just now Earth is just now entering into the trail of that Nibiru stuff. So we're just now really getting into the energies. Thankfully it didn't crash into us, but we're still traveling. So that energy is just now we're just getting there. But we're getting out of that. Isn't that gorgeous?
That is crazy, man.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, I don't get it. Like the
May. It's in May, just like you said, Diana.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
That.
Wow.
Who posted that?
Bo posted that.
Yeah.
How in heck do you post pictures on
And
that?
I also have a proposal, just because it's so fun. You said on that picture it might be a fetus. I say I said it might be a phoenix instead of a griff, or what you say. Yeah. So
Pegasus.
it's
Pegasus,
rising from the fire.
Yeah.
I like the Phoenix image too. Yeah, I
Yeah.
can see that more so actually.
Oh yeah.
Firebird coming out of the sun.
That's it.
So the Phoenix teaches us about transformation. That's a very alchemical symbol. The Phoenix.
So, Kaylin, were you able to get any pictures of your rainbows that you've seen?
Again, most of them are on my phone. I do have one here that I actually just emailed to myself so I could open it on the computer. I don't know how to screen share on Zoom.
It's the little green button down below, mid-screen.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. All right. So again, here we go. The picture, in my opinion, does not do it justice because of the light. Like it was just hard to get. Can you see this?
Yeah.
So can you see this ring around the edge here?
Yeah, that's a sun dog.
And this thing here?
That's what they're called.
What does that mean?
It's this phenomena that happens with the ice crystals in the clouds when it gets very cold. And it actually makes like this circle that goes around the sun. It's it's not that common, but it occurs, and it can occur with a lot of synchronicities. I know I had them a lot when I was having a lot of contact experiences, and when I was working with different vortex energies and stuff. So, but yeah, that looks really cool.
I wish maybe I'll go through the ones on my phone and try to like sort out some of the better ones, because it always happens when I'm driving too. So I feel like I don't want to get in an accident while I'm trying to get the picture. But I think there's also maybe a setting on my phone for some of these little bar ones that I'm talking about, and I can do maybe better contrast to see them better, because in person, it's just not showing up on my phone, you know, the same way.
Yeah.
But I need to do some, I get reluctant to do research too, because I don't really always trust what's out there, obviously. And I do eventually feel like my guides show me what I need to see. But this was so powerful and different. It was just has been a different experience for me the last few days.
I'm with
So,
you
I
because
appreciate all our insight.
I'm with you because this was actually the picture I'd taken when 2017, September 2017, when we had that whole Nibiru come through, and the energy was red fire, and this is what it came to. And there was a rainbow. I don't know if you see the rainbow around it, but there's also a rainbow around my fingers, by my thumb. So you're not alone. There was actually a double rainbow, but the rainbow, it's behind. It's like, yeah, all the way up there. But it was a like really dark energy that day. But yeah, that's what I saw, and I completely saw your rainbow. So.
Another reason I wanted to ask is because like the word prophecy is another thing that I'm always like, there are so many different prophecies out there. So when that rainbow prophecy, like I heard it when I was meditating, and I thought, I don't know, I got a little skeptical. In other words, prophecies don't always come true, kind of thing. On the other hand, I haven't done the research on this rainbow prophecy. So I'm wondering how legit it is, or if I have to keep looking for more clues or guidance from my guides.
Yeah.
More come if you need more. It's an ancient prophecy. I mean, you know, prophecy, and I mean, prophecy in itself says that all prophecy will be fulfilled. So, and that term all means all, not just in one religion. All prophecy will be fulfilled. That is kind of a big amount. Thankfully, we don't know it all, so it doesn't all have to be filled for me, just those that I know. It doesn't all have to be filled, you know. Let's go to Einstein's theory of relativity. It's relative to the individual. Let's apply it that way. Does that make
Yeah, it
sense?
does make sense. Yeah. Thank you.
That's the way I see it. Now, that's my opinion.
I think it's really great, Kaylin, that you really trust your guidance, because a lot of times when when you get certain things and then you learn you just like automatically go to the internet. I think that for myself, I have found it much more meaningful for me to discover my own way, and make my own connections within. And then, if by chance I happen to hear about something or I see something and it correlates with it, then that's like, oh wow, validation. But I don't really go out and like try to what's the word? Study what other people have found out for themselves. Does that make sense?
Yes, and I agree with you. Sometimes it's nice to have the validation if you stumble across it later, or
Right.
sometimes I think that my guides bring me in that direction so that I do see the information that I need to see clarified or verified or whatever.
Yeah.
But they always eventually show you. And that's why I didn't even really want to bring it up on this chat tonight, because I feel like, oh, I'll see it, they'll show me, but it is so strong. It is, I feel I felt different. And I'm seeing, you know, again, that harmony is what I'm calling it. It's profound and it's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Here's something on In5D, Prophecy of the Rainbow Warriors and Future of Planet Earth. And it goes on to say, as Native Americans, we believe the rainbow is a sign from the spirit in all things. It is a sign of the union of all people like one big family. The unity of all humanity, many tribes and peoples is essential. And that was from one of the Hopi elders. It goes on to say the Cree, Hopi, and Sioux Indians speak about mighty rainbow warriors that will inhabit our planet in the future, and they will come in a time of the Great Awakening. So how exciting is that?
Wow.
Yeah. I always felt a connection to the rainbow. You know, I have it on my business card, the rainbow, and I've always just really feel very strong about the
Me through
rainbow.
how to put a picture, how to share a picture.
Are you, you're on a laptop right now, right?
Yeah, how do I
Okay,
get a picture?
just go to the bottom where it says screen share. There's a green button.
Okay, I see that.
Hit that. And don't worry about those little boxes in the lower left-hand corner. Just pick the screen that you want to share. And that's it.
Oh, I have to pull it up. Okay, that's what I wasn't doing.
Yeah. Yep.
I had also heard that all of the colors in the rainbow, when you put them all together, it's a brilliant white light.
It is, yes.
Has anybody else heard that too? That all of
No,
those
but
colors
it is, that's a scientific fact.
Yeah.
That's a scientific fact.
Yeah, and that's why the sun's looking white now, because all the rainbow colors are together. Instead of it being yellow, it's white, right? And
That's
we were
pretty
receiving
amazing when you think
rainbow
about
color, rainbow light.
Yeah.
That makes such sense.
I didn't hear that.
What was that, Jody?
I was saying that makes such sense why the sun is showing up white now.
Yeah.
Amongst other things. Yeah. Yeah. It seems like as we're going through the photon belt, the photons are supercharging the sun as well. There's so many things that are going on. It's multifaceted, multi-layered.
What's
There you go.
really
You got
awesome.
it. You got it.
So I've tried painting a self-portrait only once, and I mermaid everything. Even my license plate is mermaid. And for the life of me, I tried to paint this woman who is me, a mermaid, and it would not let me. It took me 3 days of painting over and over, and this is what came through. And she's Rainbow Warrior. I painted this about 10 years ago.
Wow.
And it's you're not a mermaid, she said. It's your Rainbow Warrior. And so it's the only thing I've ever painted of myself.
That's beautiful.
It is.
I'm getting chills here.
Yeah, it's really beautiful.
Now, how do I take it away?
At the top, there's a little red option.
Ah, there we go. Thank you
Yeah.
for walking me through that.
Awesome. There you go. Now you're a Zoom pro. Not that hard.
Well, I have a suggestion. I find very cozy, comfortable. You know, I have done this like a half a year or more, and it's just sense your body, be with your body as much as you can. We talk about going out in nature and stuff, and it's actually to be connected to yourself. So the more you actually are using your UFO, like I call it a UFO time machine, we are walking in. That's our body.
I agree.
And the more you can sense it, feel it, that's your body. So you don't even have to do very much. Just sense it, move slowly, feel, sense. That's what we can do as humans. Peace.
Awesome.
I love it. I think we're all coming back to kind of our childlike innocence at least that's what I've been feeling, just that joy that other people were talking about, joy, love, light. I'm feeling the opposite of what I hear. I don't ever watch the news, but you know, my kids are telling me how it is in Arizona. And inevitably, when you get online, you see somebody's post about something, so you're not immune to it. But I'm having the opposite experience myself. And it's just, I feel innocent and young and childlike and full of hope.
That's what I mean. That's why I say let's look at it as theory of relativity. It's relative to what we're creating individually. And there's going to be a lot of people creating hell for themselves.
Yeah, get up, put your favorite music on, open all the windows. I have like, I think 33 crystals in my windows and rainbows are just all over my house all the time. And dance.
What is lit behind you? Oh, that's cool.
What you got there, Phil?
This is one of my new pyramids that I'm making. So this is the silver layer right in here. I don't know whether you can see that.
Oh.
And it's got a shoe guide.
Will you fill the
right in there? I don't know whether is it coming through or not.
It looks silver.
Cool.
Will you end up filling the whole cavity up so it'll be a really big pyramid?
Right. It'll be about 3 inches on the base by the time we get done, or larger, possibly. So it's layer after layer.
It could be as big as you want it at this point, though, right?
Well, it could be as big as this whole thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Or as small as you wanted within that. Yeah.
Right. But if I'm going to put that many crystals and all that stuff in it, that isn't going to be a $33 pyramid. No, that's like this one right here. It got out of hand. It's way bigger than the normal pyramids that I make.
That's awesome.
What kind of energy do you get off of it? Awesome.
Well, it's pumping it up way up here. Way up here. So yeah, it radiates a lot of energy. It's got crystals. It's got I use rosemary and lavender as the herbs in it. Reiki symbols, shungite, usually jasper or something like that.
Well, I would rather ask which intention did you put into it?
Oh, well, okay, so that's every time I'm mixing one of these, I put them in a Reiki distant and trying to come from as high a energy as I can. Love, joy, happiness. That's what I put into them.
I never thought to put, I've never seen organite with herbs in it. That is so cool.
I said the same thing when I heard about that. I never thought about that.
Gosh.
Yeah, I would like to take credit for that, but that was a download. It was.
And it makes so much sense after you said it. Like, oh my gosh, why wouldn't you do that?
Yeah, well, when it came to me, I thought, oh yeah, that's a great idea. I'll do it. Thank you.
Heck yeah. Well, guys, we're pushing almost 4 hours tonight, so I think we're going to wrap it up.
One more question to Phil. Has he heard about the Sintamani stones? I know Cobra, the Pleiadian contact, he talked about people procuring Sintamani stones and burying them as certain ley lines on the planet to help Gaia and have her balance her energies. Have you heard of the Sintamani?
Yes, sir. I have heard of the Sintamani stones. I have not purchased one yet. I'm not sure that I haven't been really called to do that. And usually if I'm called, I'll do it, you know. That's why I have most of the crystals that I have here. So, but yeah, the Sintamani, I mean, it might be for some people. I don't need it. I make my own.
Right.
Guys, on that note, we are going to end it. Yes. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Phil. I thought you were done.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say this is my port. These can be portals. These can be cloud busters. Whatever you program them to be, that's what they'll do.
We are all portals.
Portals, yes. Most pyramids are for that. Maybe it was just a portal or spirits. I'm not sure, but the Great Pyramid is definitely a portal. And the sun's a portal. You're a portal.
Yeah.
We're all portals.
Right there.
With our
that third
Merkaba
eye.
and that sacred geometry, we can go anywhere in this universe.
Yep.
Because I've done it in my
On
mind.
that note, we're wrapping it up.
Definitely.
Okay. We've been on almost 4 hours, and it goes by so quickly when you're having fun. And we've had so many people come in here that have joined us, and new people, new faces. I always enjoy that as well. I want to thank everybody that joined us on YouTube as well. We had a bunch of people in there that stayed the entire time, and that's awesome. We'll have a lot of people that'll be watching this on the replay. So make sure if you're watching it, subscribe, hit the notification so you're alerted, because I'm banned on Facebook again. Make sure you check us out on patreon.com/In5D, because you get alerted there. And or check out, if you want to support the channel, we've got more shirts like this coming out. I'll be making a bunch more like this tomorrow. So check out in5d.net if you'd like to support the channel as well. So you guys are so fantastic. You know, this is like the reality show that is real and for everyone. Everyone should watch something like this. You know, share these videos with your friends on social network. Let's get the word out there. Let's change the world. People are watching, all of you. And
great energy.
Yeah, it's
Good
fantastic.
night, guys. Love you.
Sending you all infinite love and light. Namaste. Namaste, everyone. Love you all.